And we're live and living color on a Monday night. No, I'm just playing. That was CL Punk's one though. But
Tuesday night.
welcome to the Rest of the Pit Podcast Monday Night Raw review, where we got new champs, a hint that somebody coming for the Netflix debut, and a pretty short show. Now it was short, I think, because it was double tape because they had to put on the second show right after this show. So spoilers. Anybody don't go looking on TikTok or anything because you'll get spoiled for both Raw and SmackDown this week.
I tried not to with Raw. I clicked on the app
I know
and
for
it came
sure
up and
that
I was like, ain't no way.
I know the SmackDown spoilers are on there, so yeah,
I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything. Okay.
No, I didn't see nothing either, so I can't tell you nothing if I wanted to, Shay. I didn't see nothing.
Nah, I kind of, with a lot of these shows, I try to refrain myself from getting spoiled a lot of stuff. So like when I go into these shows, like if I watch them or even stream them, everything's pretty much new for me. So
like I think when I sent it on Facebook and I immediately clicked off of Facebook when they were saying spoilers for the next week's SmackDown. I'm like, nope. I'm not
don't go to Twitter.
Don't go to Facebook, Twitter,
or TikTok. TikTok was
Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. Don't go to none.
Bro, I kid you not.
I freaking clicked on the app and it was up there. They had, I was like, no. I was like, ain't no way. And so I was like, that's next week's show. So I was like, let me go ahead and keep scrolling. But the person that streamed it wasn't even. I wasn't even following that person. It just came up.
Yeah, because you got wrestling and stuff, and it was wrestling related, so they just said, "Hey, you might enjoy this." I'm like, I don't want to see no spoilers, but all right. So we kick off Monday Night Raw with CM Punk. CM Punk comes out and he basically talks about while interacting with the crowd, talking about somebody wearing a New York jersey or Boston. His basis of his promo was that he said that he was in a bad mood because he came out a couple of weeks ago and said that he don't think about Seth Rollins at all. He told Seth Rollins that, but now he in a bad mood because that's a lie. Because now he had been. He said he might not have been thinking about Seth Rollins as much as Seth Rollins was thinking about CM Punk. But he said his mind has wandered to him from time to time since he said that in his last promo, and that now he kind of wanted to avoid it. He said he thought it was. He said it made him into a bad mood because Seth Rollins was right. Whatever this thing is between them, they can't avoid it. They on a collision course. It's going to happen, and he was like, he hates his stupid song, and he was trying to. He kept taking pauses in his promo to see if Seth Rollins' song was going to, interrupt him. But he said that, he wanted to help Seth Rollins because he said Seth Rollins is his failure. He said there's no bad student, just bad teachers, and that Seth Rollins was his failure. So he's going to give Seth Rollins, that 16-year-old Seth Rollins, the wrestling knowledge, the wrestling teaching that he asked for when he was 16 for free. He kept on goading Seth Rollins to come out, talking about him even more. But until Seth Rollins did come out, but with no music, he was in the crowd. And Seth Rollins said, I want, life is about perspective. And I wanted to come out here with the crowd and see what they see. And you see that if I could see something different from a different perspective, that would change my mind about you. And then he said, nope, you're still just an asshole. And he said that, he said, for once, I'm shocked that you didn't come out with your stupid song. But he said, for once you did come out in the right spot, you belong out there in the stands with the fans and the other CM Punk fans. And he was like, he said, you think that's a jab? You think that hurts me? No. He said, I love being out here with the people of Boston. He said, when you left, I put this company on my back when you try to tear it down and wish it would die. And I put it on my back and made it stronger than ever. And eventually they would get into a brawl. And I think they brawled for like a good minute too. That was like the rest of the promo. Like once he like insulted CM Punk by saying that he had more WrestleMania moments. He said the funny thing about me being a CM Punk fan that I had more WrestleMania main events than you ever will, and that's a fact. And that after that, CM Punk was like, "Yep, I'm done." He just went out there to the crowd, and they just was fighting throughout the whole crowd. I mean, they wrestled around like they got in the ring for like a minute, but it was mostly in the crowd. I think they got into the ring first, and then they wrestled throughout the crowd before being broken up. Um, but that was the promo. After that, they got broken up. With the promo ended with looking at CM Punk with a crazed look in his eyes. And we will get confirmation in this episode when we will see CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. But more on that in a minute, because since the promo ended, it's time for everybody to give their opinions on it. So I'm going to start with the main man, Chris. We haven't heard from him in a while. Chris, you're unmuted.
There we go. No, I had my thing going or whatever. I got music in the background. But so I thought the promo was actually that's pretty cool. But they had to hurry up and speed it up. Like you said, because the show they had to get ready for the next part of the show. But I always thought there was some kind of like blood feud or something or whatever about him tearing the company down. But it pretty much just looked. But it just looks more. Feud. It looks more like a student versus a teacher kind of like thing. So I was like, oh, okay. So I thought it was like some real hatred like thing, kind of how CM Punk and Drew McIntyre was.
It is.
I thought
CM Punk.
It feels more.
CM Punk and Drew McIntyre don't hate each other as much as Seth Rollins and CM Punk do in real life. Like Drew McIntyre's real life problems with CM Punk is like little. It's CM Punk and Seth Rollins who have the real, like how Seth Rollins didn't like Matt Riddle in real life, and like they had like a real life big blood feud. That's him and CM Punk has the same thing. It's the same thing. This is just Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins, but this time with Matt Riddle being replaced with CM Punk. They really don't like each other behind the scenes. And Seth Rollins really is because of what Seth Rollins says, because he don't like that CM Punk left the company and tried to like basically talk about the company and tear it down, saying that the company was a bad company and stuff. He felt like CM Punk was trying to take their jobs and their livelihood for them.
Gotcha. Okay. That's why I was trying to figure out, what was what, but it was all.
Yeah, this is like a real life blood feud. This is more real. This is more. I would say I compare it to Matt Hardy and Edge. This is like Matt Hardy and Edge, where they turned a real life blood feud into a story. Like this is basically what CM Punk and Seth Rollins is. It's more comparable to that. This is real.
But we all know it's when they do have a match, it's gonna lead to a no contest. But
you can see that.
Y'all can go ahead next, whoever.
Leo.
I thought the promo was really cool because I feel like a lot of people want to see these two clash. I think on one hand you could see this.
Defense.
You can see this. I can see this feud potentially going till Mania, but I know that there are plans to potentially at some point get Punk in the mix between him and with Punk and Roman. Me personally, I think that could be safe for SummerSlam next year. Opposed to a Mania. It depends really if Rock is going to be involved, which I think he will be, to be involved whatever Roman Reigns is doing and stuff like that, or even Cody Rhodes even. But I do think Seth Rollins and Punk are going to kill it when they do. It's already did get a confirmation later in the show that it will be on the first Raw of Netflix. I do think this could potentially be the opening match for that Raw on Netflix to really set the standard for the show, that it's really a new era. Something is really about to change, especially the landscape, right? I think that what I do think is when we do have this match, I think we see Seth Rollins turn heel. I think that the interaction with Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre that we saw later in the show is potentially a first of many teases that we could be getting heading into that show. We see Seth Rollins turn, and then we kickstart the feud. Because I think if Punk gets the win, it's almost as if that the feud is over with, because like, well, Punk proved his point and he doesn't care about Seth Rollins and he's going to be on to something else. So Seth Rollins, by and large, would have to get the win. But I think the interactions that these two had, and then the fact that they were literally going at it, fighting each other to the point people couldn't get them separated, that made it even more intriguing. And we know when that match is happening, they're going to go all in, no pun intended.
Yeah. It definitely is. And it's definitely shaping up to be like how rumors were saying, like the first Monday Night Raw on Netflix was going to be like almost like a premium live event feel. So,
or like a Mania. Some people have been saying like a Mania type feel.
Yeah, it's definitely got that going into it. Shane, we haven't heard from you in a while, man. So go ahead.
I can agree with Leo. I think I mean WWE always do the brawl, so I wasn't really excited for it. I don't know why would they put the match on Netflix. I just feel like we wasting WrestleMania matches on Netflix. However, if Seth Rollins do turn heel, and we need to have that sometime at the Royal Rumble or something, because the only CM Punk should be having going into WrestleMania is helping him get to the main event. It's the only story that needs to happen with CM Punk going into WrestleMania. So this feud with Seth Rollins needs to get cut short. If we're going to turn Seth heel, turn him heel, and we need to cut this short, because the only storyline that CM Punk should be having to WrestleMania is Paul Heyman with the favor of helping Punk get to the main event and winning a goddamn title. So you think that makes sense?
I definitely agree with that. Because yeah,
I don't think this need to be about a heel versus babyface. I don't think they need to add that element to the story. The story was written. The story been written itself before CM Punk even came back, where they kept doing interviews with Seth Rollins. You know, not WWE interviews, but outside of WWE, and he kept talking about how he don't like CM Punk. I don't think this need to be about one being a heel, one being a babyface. I think this is stated directly how it is. It's about Rollins' hatred of how CM Punk basically ghosted them and basically tried to tear the company down, which he did. If anything, if it is about being a heel, it should be CM Punk, because he's the hypocrite in all this.
You can just
could put that spin on it, but I think it's pure hate.
You gotta remember when he left, he talked dirty about WWE and said he would never come back to WWE because of how WWE and all this and stuff, how it ran. He said all this stuff about it, and then he came back. So he's the hypocrite. If anything, he's the heel in all of this. If you add that element, he should be the heel, because Seth Rollins has said nothing but the truth about CM Punk. If you want to add the heel babyface dynamic. But that's if you want to add the heel babyface dynamic. If you don't, then I wouldn't really say it needs to be. I don't think it needs to be about a babyface or heel at this point. I think it could be pure hate. Hating each other is good enough.
But it's like after this feud, I feel like one.
Hey, stop, y'all! I already done knocked my wheel off.
I feel like one would turn heel though.
I don't
know. I think it should be Seth Rollins, because I think
it would be
Rollins needs a character change.
I feel like and that would be kind of cool, because it's like we're not just seeing heel turns for the sake of heel turns.
Character change, but I don't think it needs to be at the expense of
CM Punk, pretty
Punk.
much. I would say that
I think that
because it's like it throws the story off to me because like I'm more interested in it because they hate each other, not because I wouldn't care about. I care about it more because they just hate each other, or at least
and
Seth Rollins.
it would make
hate
sense.
CM Punk,
and it could make sense.
CM Punk don't really hate Seth Rollins, but it's the fact that what sells this feud is Seth Rollins' hatred, his hatred, and what he said about CM Punk this whole time when he was gone, and then the cherry on top was when he came back at Survivor Series. You saw Seth Rollins' reaction. That's what really showed it. So to me, I don't
think WWE is using the hatred for the match that they're going to have. I kind of agree with Chris. I think that they're using the more teacher versus student because you heard it in the promos the past 2 weeks. If you listen to Seth Rollins' promo last week, it was more like, yeah, CM Punk did teach me. Da, 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 da. And you're kind of hearing the same thing this week. So I don't think they're using the hatred.
Yeah.
Using the hatred.
I would
he
say
said
that
both of them. And
but here's the thing.
both promos, Seth Rollins has said both. He said the teacher student thing and his hatred for what he did after he left the company.
It's more like teacher student, and then it's like.
But he emphasized that though. Remember in that promo when he first mentioned it, when they were just doing those vignettes where CM Punk did that vignette, and then Seth Rollins came out to the ring. He said that was part of it, but the part that he left out, he said it like that. The part that he left out, which emphasizes his true hatred for CM Punk.
But would it make sense to just turn CM Punk heel? Because we still have to understand at some point next year we're gonna see CM Punk cross brands or whatever the case is, or cross paths with Roman. And I feel like you still got to figure out what's the favor that him and Paul Heyman are talking about. Could that potentially lead to like a heel turn in that regard? Like,
I mean, if you look at the way how they doing Roman would be the heel and currently. But let something change between now and whenever that deal comes.
The only story that should be told, and I'm going to keep saying it, is the only story with the favor with Paul Heyman and CM Punk is Paul Heyman helping Punk get to a main event at WrestleMania.
And that's
true.
Yeah,
that's definitely what the story should be. But if we talking about who should be the heel between CM Punk and Roman Reigns, I think is at the current projection is Roman, because he doesn't look like a babyface at the moment.
He's kind of operating as a tweener, but people love him. No, he's like a tweener. Yeah, but people are liking him, and you could tell by his interactions.
The people like him for sure, but he doesn't. His character, the way he talked, the way he carries himself, he carried himself like heel Roman. Okay, what Drew pointed out is right. Have we even heard Roman be remorseful about what he done?
He never said I'm sorry for anything.
Yeah, he never said I'm sorry for anything, and then he's still talking about he want everybody to acknowledge him and stuff like that. So to me, that's he's still having they still haven't made him feel like a tweener. They haven't made him feel like a babyface.
And I feel like they will. It depends on the
he's still heel Roman.
I feel like they're gonna make him seem more of a face. It just depends on the person. But going back to what you said with Seth, I think the thing with Seth Rollins, I feel like if he were to turn heel, it would not. A lot of people think if he's gonna turn heel, it's gonna be safe for a turn heel. We're seeing a lot of these heels that are actually heels, but they're justified in their story in the sense of they look like the hero in the story. Look what happens with Kevin Owens and Cody. Kevin is pretty much seen as the villain, but at the same time, we can be honest with ourselves and say he's the hero. If anybody we fought alongside with turning our back on us and then fought the people that have been trying to take us out of the company for years, that's a total hero arc. Same thing with Liv and Rhea. Liv is a heel and a villain, but in everybody's mind, But if we're being honest, for the story, she's a hero.
Yeah, she's a hero because Rhea,
Drew too.
Yeah, Rhea did take out Liv.
And then Drew is a justifiable heel on why he did what he did.
Yeah, Drew is
I gotta,
Drew is technically telling the truth. They made his life a living hell. He would have beat Roman had it
If it
not
wasn't for
been
Solo.
for Jay and Jimmy
I think
and
that's the
all
fourth.
them chickens.
That's who the fourth is. You know how you said 1 down, 4 to go? We got Jay, we got Jimmy when he comes back, we got Roman, and I think Solo is the fourth because it does not make sense for it to be CM Punk or Cody Rhodes. No.
It's gotta be
Solo.
It's gotta be Solo because Solo is the one that cost him the thing at Clash at the Castle.
For everybody who screwed him over, and the Bloodline did screw him over. He had Roman beat at Clash at the Castle, but Solo got in the way.
I got a theory, and it's going to be it's crazy how it sounds. Seth Rollins is going to turn heel. He's going to start a group with Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre. Mark my words.
I just thought about that.
Didn't I say that in the group thing last night a little bit, man?
Somebody, I think Jeff had posted something about that it could be possible that Seth Rollins creates a new Shield, and we were saying how that would be cool, especially if he's using it to go up against Roman Reigns, because that's what the theory was, that he could create a new Shield to go up against Roman.
We know how Seth Rollins could be like when he's in his heel bag. Look what happened at Royal Rumble 2022 when he faced Roman. He came out with the Shield gear and the Shield music. Imagine if he brings both of those back, but he's doing it with Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre wearing the tactical vest and the Shield music coming down.
If they do that, it'll be like, it's weird because if they do that, how do it needs, like, they almost need to be baby faced for that to work.
No,
they don't necessarily have to be, but it'd be like, well, they have a justifiable reason that we shouldn't boo them for, because these are people who've been basically done wrong by Roman, and Roman has not made amends for it. Therefore, who wants to see Roman get any type of power where he's clearly shown that as soon as if he does get power, he's just going to be the same Roman. So it's like,
that's why I said
at a certain point, WWE is going to have to flip his character to make him see at least a little bit remorseful, so we can be like, okay, he's starting to show remorse. Now Kevin and Seth and Drew, now you're starting to look a little crazy because he is trying to apologize. He's trying to make up for it. And now y'all starting to look crazy.
That's why I said back at Bad Blood, Roman needed to start to go down the downward spiral. Started apologizing to his bloodline members. I said that, and WWE should have did that from the beginning.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it's screwing with the story, because like it's the same thing with Rhea. They protecting Roman and Rhea so they don't look weak, but they wouldn't look weak if they went on a downward spiral. I don't understand why they think that would make them look weak, but it wouldn't. They trying to keep them where, like, yeah, they like the favorites to win the title, and if the other person win, it's just gonna help them more because we made them look so strong that if the other person win, they star power gonna get boosted.
Yep.
That's it seems like that's what they try to do. Like, say whenever Liv and Rhea have their title match, which I'm pretty sure is gonna be at Raw on Netflix.
Jesus.
Lord have mercy, Jesus.
If Liv beats Rhea, the way how they book in Rhea, if Liv beats Rhea, it's just gonna elevate Liv more because she's beating this person who still looks dominant, who still is the favorite to take the title. But then, but on the flip side, if you give it to Rhea, you let Rhea beat Liv and get the title back, you're doing more damage to Liv than you did. Like, you really, this whole
I really don't want
with Liv, you undo it. So it's like, and then if you do the same thing with Roman, like, you didn't really make Roman remorseful at all. Like, you really didn't. Like, you just
said it.
He should have been on a downward spiral. He should have
Been losing every match.
That promo he did when he challenged Solo, when he said he lost everything. I don't feel like you lost everything because you don't. It doesn't feel like you lost everything. You've been winning more
Survivor
than you
Series.
You've been winning more than you just won a match. So where have you lost everything? Like, it don't make sense. That promo he did when he said when he lost everything, the wise man should not been there behind him. He should have been all by himself. A disheveled, beaten Roman should have been all by himself because he's been losing everything since he came back. But he's been winning some and losing. He only lost like what, one time, and that was at Bad Blood.
No, Bad Blood. They won. It was literally at Crown Jewel.
At Crown Jewel, they lost.
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, he lost that Crown Jewel, won that Bad Blood and Survivor Series. So what have you lost? What have you lost?
And then he lost at Mania, but it's like,
almost.
Oh my God!
You got everything back except for the title. So it just
shouldn't get that back.
I don't know. It don't look right.
He shouldn't get that back.
Don't look right from Roman's perspective. Like, I supposed to feel sorry that he lost everything, but he hasn't. It don't look like he lost everything. It look like he's regaining everything.
That's exactly why I said they needed to do the downward spiral since Bad Blood, and it didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
I thought they were telling that story.
I don't even think he's gonna lose to Solo on Netflix. I think he's gonna beat Solo.
Oh,
No, I think Solo's gonna win. I really do.
I hope he wins. I really do. I hope he wins.
Reason why I think Solo is winning. The reason why I feel like with the way Roman is being portrayed right now, right? Yes, it'll be cool to have him see the Ulafala back, but at the same time, the Ulafala is doing more for Solo right now than it would probably for Roman. Like, Roman, it just come off as a prop for him. This is literally elevating Solo to a new level right now. And the reason he wins is not clean. Yes, there are not going to be any pretty much so-called involved people, but we know what a bloodline match happens. We get that. We're going to probably get a referee bump, and somebody's going to come out there. Roman might fend off of them. And what happens? The Rock shows up. The Rock shows up on the first Raw of Netflix, and Rock is the reason why Roman does not get that Ulafala back.
Well, I think it already been confirmed that he was going to be there for the first Raw on Netflix.
Exactly.
If that's what we're doing to start The Rock and Roman going into WrestleMania, I'm cool with that. That will be the only way how that we get this thing started, because Rock and Roman is overdue, and that match needs to happen.
Yeah, that match needs to happen.
It should have been happening since like WrestleMania 38. Like, honestly.
But then again, at least according to rumors, it's probably ain't going to happen at this year's WrestleMania.
It's rumors that it might happen next year, or maybe in WrestleMania 42 or 43. Like, you can't do that.
We overdoing it.
Because it's like, what are you going to do with Roman in the next 3 years? We know his schedule is going to be different and stuff like that. So why not do it here? Honestly, if it was me being personally, I thought they could have done it at WrestleMania 39 when they went to Hollywood. That would have been the perfect WrestleMania to do it at, honestly. Vegas also makes sense just because a lot of people are going to be buying ridiculous seats, and still are, mind you, to go to this show with the idea of seeing this match play out on television and play out in front of their faces. Let's be honest.
Yeah. I don't know. Hey, did we? We might not have seen it. I can't remember if we did, but did we even see who Raw got for that trade for Braun Strowman on this Monday?
I don't think they are, but like
it might happen on next week's Raw. But
I think so. I think potential names that are being speculated to come over to Raw is Carmelo Hayes one. That's like that. Carmelo Hayes is a guy that's kind of thrown his name in the hat about going to Raw. I did see Austin Theory potentially say going to Raw as well. And I think they're potentially going to be switching two of the titles in the transfer window because the people that are holding the titles are eligible as well. So I think they're possibly going to be sending the IC title to SmackDown and the US over to Raw.
I think Gunther and them is getting switched too.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
think Gunther, they want Gunther on SmackDown and they want Cody on Netflix.
Yeah. So I was just wondering, like I forgot that Braun Strowman was the first person to get traded to SmackDown from Raw, and so we never saw who got traded to from SmackDown to go into Raw
And then
for Braun
SmackDown,
Strowman.
I think people
So
saw in the background
Do y'all
Dominic
think
potentially going to SmackDown as well.
Do y'all think Bailey's going to Raw?
I think she
Probably.
is because I think because and before I said Bailey, Dominic might be going to SmackDown soon.
I think all of Judgment Day is going to SmackDown.
Oh
I
God.
think. Well, here's the thing. Now I
At
did
least
see.
majority of them. I know
I think-
Raquel is going there because they keep both. They keep they used to keep couples on the same show.
She's a joke.
Well, here's the thing. And since we're kind
I
of
said used to because Kaiser and Tiffany are on different shows and they together. So
well, since we're talking about the Liv thing, I mean, I did see this about the transfer window. Looks like they want Rhea Ripley on Raw. They want her on Netflix. Now, Liv Morgan, they want her potentially on SmackDown. They want her on SmackDown.
she needs to be on SmackDown with the title
Because
so
right now the reason why she would be beneficial on SmackDown because of the star power that we're going to be getting on Raw, and I feel very bad for where Liv Morgan potentially could be because right now they want Becky Lynch on Raw, they want Rhea Ripley on Raw, potentially Charlotte on Raw as well.
Oh,
those
God,
three women,
no.
they
We
want
need
those
stress
three
in that
women.
star power.
Yo, you know what? I'm with it. I said it and I'll say it again. SmackDown can be the rebuilt show. SmackDown can take the unused talent and turn them into superstars. Just like you said with Dominic Mysterio can be the Eddie Guerrero of SmackDown. Yeah, I
yes.
said it. I said it.
At least Dominic Mysterio and Fed need to go to SmackDown.
I think
Dominic could be the Eddie Guerrero of SmackDown.
Yeah,
but
he
it's
can.
like if we're gonna do this whole turn, who's really turning on who? Because they gave us evidence that maybe Finn is gonna turn. Maybe, but I think Finn gets kicked out.
Hey, speaking of turns, I think I sent it to Leo. Did you see what I sent you, Leo?
You sent it to me today?
Yeah, just a few minutes ago.
Let me see. Let me check.
I didn't see this on the show. I must have missed it or something.
You talking about the attack?
Yeah. I was like, what's up with everybody attacking somebody?
Pure Fusion Collective were behind Matt, but I feel like if we're gonna be honest, right?
You were talking about that, Chris.
But you really could
that
do
happened
this.
in the backstage segment. They was talking. I think they was talking to the New Day, and then they heard the attack, and they went over. It was Pure Fusion Collective.
If we want to be honest,
I do think. So they said WWE seemingly dropped clues that it was actually Dakota Kai who took out Kairi Sane. When the camera switched from New Day to Pure Fusion Collective, one could see Dakota Kai standing nearby, but not close enough to Kairi to suggest she was involved in the attack. And it says, in addition to that, during Raw Talk, a Wyatt 6 glitch was briefly shown around Dakota Kai, essentially, confirming that she has been marked for a turn on her group. The line, she said, implied that Damage Control was tightly knit, while Pure Fusion Collective wasn't.
But like you were saying, if we're gonna have all those heavy hitters on Raw, and I like what Punch said, if you put Liv on SmackDown, she could be the woman on SmackDown, if we're being honest. Because now you got rid of Charlotte over there. You don't have Becky to worry about. You don't have Rhea to worry about. You pretty much have like the people that are building themselves up. You have Michin over there trying to make a name for herself. You got Candice over there. You literally have Nia Jax, you have Tiffany Stratton, you have Naomi, you have Bianca, you have Jade, you have literally Chelsea Green. You have all those names over there making a name for yourself, and you throw Liv Morgan and Raquel in the mix. Raquel, she can easily go for that U.S. championship and probably win it because I feel like a lot of the women pretty much she will beat honestly. And Liv, she's easily gonna have almost a fast track to winning that WWE Women's Championship, whoever it is.
Matter of fact, since we speaking upon that, uh, I don't know if we going. When we get to the women's IC title match tournament, I do got something to say about that as well.
I don't know why, but like you were saying though, I don't think Rhea should beat Liv when they have that match on Netflix. I'm gonna be completely
No, I don't think
honest.
she should.
She shouldn't, because
She
it's like
shouldn't.
it would be doing a disservice, like you said, and it's also reminiscent of what happened the first time she was champion. The reason why people didn't believe in her is because they didn't book her to be believable. What happened the first time? You gave her the championship, you have her beat Ronda Rousey, for only to her lose the championship to the same person she beat to win the championship. And you do the same thing with Rhea Ripley. You have her win the championship, even though she didn't win it from Rhea. She still won the championship from someone else. But for her to lose the championship back to Rhea Ripley, and what does it do for Liv Morgan? She gets dropped right back down the card again. And it took 2 years from the first run to the second run to get her back on card.
We put Nia Jax on Raw to Liv win.
If we have Liv Morgan beat,
if we put in Liv, if Liv goes to SmackDown with the title, then yeah, Nia Jax go to Raw. But then I don't think.
But here's my thing:
if Liv don't have the title, so
here's my thing. And this is my personal opinion. If we see Rhea Ripley, win the title back, it's like, what do they do with Liv Morgan? Because you cannot put her.
You gotta win the Rumble.
Here's the thing: you cannot put her back in tag team turmoil again. We cannot have that. With the year that she's had right now, she would have to. But here's the thing, and Punch was kind of looking like, no, don't have her win the Rumble. But here's the thing: actually have a twist. If we have Tiffany Stratton potentially win the championship, right? And people know she's on the verge of being a babyface, and she needs a heel. You can save Charlotte for another show. You don't have to necessarily do it at Mania. Liv Morgan, can you do the edge, the opportunistic thing, and not announce who she's facing right away? She can do what Edge did when he won the Rumble in 2021, I believe, right? She goes to all three brands. She teases potentially setting up a match maybe with a Roxanne Perez for the title. She maybe tease something with Rhea Ripley again. But then she interjects herself and goes over to SmackDown to challenge Tiffany Stratton for the Women's Championship at WrestleMania.
So we predicted Liv lose just for her to win the Rumble?
I think it would make sense for her to win the Rumble, because if there's still that story of her coming up short the last 2 years in the final two, I think you would want to capitalize on that story where she comes up second in the Rumble and the Chamber by having her win either the Rumble or Chamber. Now, the Chamber would be cool, but I think it would be way more of a bigger thing to
win the Rumble.
Because think about it, the year that she's had, right? The year that she's had, she has pretty much been the go-to woman right now. She has pretty much been on a quest to make herself the woman, and she's, by and large, been able to do that. With the momentum that she's had, she can build towards it. You said what?
No, wait, no offense. And I know she had the year that she had with the crown jewel and all of that.
No, I'm just saying in general, in the sense of like, think about
who did she compete against besides Rhea and Io?
She's competed against Becky, beat her. She
Yeah.
competed against Zelina.
Yeah, I forgot. You right.
Yeah, no,
So
we weren't just talking about like recently. He's trying to say like the year she has had.
Right, you're right. I forgot about that.
With the year that you had, you expand upon that with next year. Yes, she loses the title, but she finds herself back in contention by winning the Royal Rumble. She can use like her past experiences to her advantage. She can do a Dolph Ziggler type of thing where she doesn't enter right away, where she goes like she doesn't go over the rope, she goes under the rope and she hides and does like a Rusev type of thing. And when a person that wins it is pretty much celebrating, Liv Morgan comes out of nowhere and throws them over. Could you imagine the pop that she would get if Becky is probably like one of the last ones, or Charlotte is one of the last ones, and Liv dumps both one of them over? That would get a huge pop right there. Let's be honest. And the thing, if you look at Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan's feud, and I know people are going to probably be coming for my head for this one, but if you want to be honest, Punch can agree with me. Anybody can agree with me. Look at the feud. Rhea Ripley has been getting the upper hand on Liv time and time again. Even when she was taken out, she came back almost instantly. Look what happened from SummerSlam up until this point. Liv won at SummerSlam. Bash and Berlin happened. Bash and Berlin happened. Rhea Ripley pinned Liv. What happened? Literally at Bad Blood. It was supposed to be Liv, but she didn't because of how the match ended, which quote unquote led to Rhea Ripley winning via DQ. So that's 2-1 right there. Then you go to Survivor Series. Liv Morgan gets pinned by Rhea again. So right now, we're standing here saying Rhea Ripley has 3 to Liv Morgan's 1. So she has to literally get a win. We saw what happened with her and Io. She is capable of putting on a good match with some of the best talent and actually doing it on her own. She beat Io clean. No help, nothing. So if she can do this to Rhea Ripley and she wins, or however you put it, this is going to submit Liv Morgan as the woman in WWE. It's going to submit Liv Morgan as the woman to beat. She is pretty much going to elevate herself in the grand scheme of things, because now she's going to be in the conversation. She's not going to be just the talk of the town anymore. She is the talk, because now she's in the conversation with Charlotte and Becky and Bianca and Rhea. You got to understand, even before she was champion, what has Liv Morgan done? She beat Nia Jax twice this year. She beat her before the WrestleMania, and then she beat her at Crown Jewel. One of your biggest stars this year. What else has she done? She pinned Bianca Belair in the chamber. She pinned Tiffany Stratton in the chamber. She's pretty much pinned Miss Money in the Bank and one of your tag team champions this year, and your WWE Women's Champion this year. She's done all of that. And Rhea Ripley and Bianca. She's done all of that in the span of 1 year. So if we're talking about who's the woman of right now, it is Liv Morgan. And if she does lose, you capitalize on everything that she's built up this far, and she wins the Rumble and does something that people wouldn't expect, because people would expect Liv Morgan to win the Rumble and challenge Rhea Ripley at Mania. Will the match be good? Absolutely. But you have a swerve, because the road to WrestleMania is supposed to be about, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what this person's going to do. You don't know what that person's going to do. You don't know who's going to show up to come back. You have her win the Rumble. Exactly. And then you have her win the Rumble, and you have her go to SmackDown, because I think SmackDown could be her show. And we also got to understand what's happening next year. SummerSlam. And SummerSlam is where? In her backyard of Jersey. So and you would have to
definitely not having her lose in her hometown.
So you honestly are going to have her either potentially walk in as a WWE Women's Champion, or she is going to be challenging for that title, or at the very least, she's going to be challenging for one of the mid-card titles, or walking in as one of the mid-card champions.
No,
she don't need to be the mid-card champion for sure.
But if you want to elevate her in the sense of for her resume, you could.
For a resume, yeah, but she needs to be walking into SummerSlam next year as either a world champion, world champion, or the women's WWE champion.
You know what would be a good match? If you keep Liv Morgan and you put her on SmackDown, and you keep Bianca on SmackDown, Liv Morgan and Bianca at SummerSlam, take my money. You can't tell me.
I don't think they're going to keep Bianca on SmackDown.
They could potentially keep her on SmackDown, but I think they probably are going to at least keep her around, at least to see how this Jade Cargill thing works out. I don't know. Maybe if you're going to put Jade, not Jade, but if you're going to put Bianca on Raw, if you're going to bring Becky, Charlotte, Rhea, and you're probably going to end up putting like like a Jade on there, and then if Naomi, she's gonna come with them just because all three of them might be involved in the same story. Then you're gonna probably have Bailey still on SmackDown. You're gonna have Tiffany on SmackDown. You're gonna have Candice on SmackDown. You're gonna have maybe a Nia Jax on SmackDown, unless they want to go to have her go to Raw. But and then maybe you're gonna put Raquel over there, then Liv.
I could see Nia going to Raw.
Then
I could see.
I think at the end of the day, for real, I think Liv to get the Charlotte rub, like how Charlotte gave Rhea the rub. I think Rhea needs to give Liv the rub.
That would be cool. Because
I
think that for real, I would love to see that to happen at
like
WrestleMania. That's why I said like either her winning the Rumble or the Chamber, because pretty much 2024 has been building Liv up to be either
main
the person
eventer.
Finally actually win the Rumble or win the Chamber, because she came
that
up.
Would be cool.
She came up runner up both times in the Rumble and the Chamber, so she needs to win one of them this year.
Because if you think about it, there's some stories that you could potentially play with Liv potentially being a champion if she's on SmackDown. If you send Damage Control to SmackDown, there's that feud with Asuka, because Asuka and Liv have some history. You want to know why? Liv was the run-up in 2023. She could not see when it was down to her and Rhea Ripley, which allowed an opening for Rhea to eliminate Liv. Why couldn't she not see? Because what happened? Asuka misted Liv Morgan and costed her that win. Liv can pretty much say, I didn't forget
with the miss too.
Exactly. And Liv can say, I haven't forgot what you've done. I could have won the World Rumble. I could have beat the person that turned their back on me if it wasn't for you. And then if you go to Chamber that same year, Asuka was the reason Liv did not win the Chamber, because her and Natalya double teamed her to get her out of there. She can go after one of those two or both. And then if you go to this year, she can have some unfinished business with Bailey. Bailey won the Rumble and pretty much did a sneak attack on Liv Morgan when she had her back turned to win the Rumble. Liv Morgan can say, I could have won the World Rumble if it wasn't for you. So now I gotta get my payback on you too. And if you're looking at what was it? Becky Lynch in the Chamber, there still might be some unfinished business there. And maybe this time around, Liv beats her clean too.
So we predicted.
I think they concluded though the business was between Becky and Liv. Though,
well, I'm just saying if they decided to reopen that down the line, you know what I mean.
Okay.
But like, in the grand scheme of things,
predicting that Rhea is going to win it.
I think
at this point, that's what it seems like. It seems like they about to let Rhea get the title back. But if they do that, I see them giving Liv
the World Rumble win. And then maybe she beats
maybe she challenged Rhea and beats her at WrestleMania to get her that WrestleMania
now
moment.
If they do that, that would be cool, because like you said, it'll be like Charlotte and pretty much Rhea from WrestleMania 39, where Charlotte gave Rhea Ripley the rub and Becky gave Rhea the rub these past 2 years. So now you can have Rhea give somebody that's on the up and up the rub to break through that glass ceiling, to now she's in the conversation with the women like herself. Like, just because she's short doesn't mean she can't break into like the grand scheme of things and be that woman. She's proven it. Right now, she's kind of on her.
People like Liv and Zelina, especially Zelina. Zelina needs somebody like Liv to break through so she could break through.
Because Alexa Bliss was in the same position. What has Alexa Bliss done? She beat Sasha. She beat Bailey. She beat Becky. She beat 3 of the 4 horsewomen. Now we need years and years later, Liv Morgan to follow in those footsteps and do the same thing. What has she done so far? She has beaten Becky Lynch, right? I think she's beaten Bailey, but not in this current iteration. Now Liv and Charlotte. Now that would pretty much be an interesting match, because if you think about it, what happened in 2019 when we see those two face on SmackDown? Liv said when she lost to Charlotte, when she came back, she was going to be real. She was going to be something different than she's ever been before. And I think because of that loss to Charlotte, it set her out on this run that she's potentially on right now.
I mean, think about it, when she came back, It led to her being a world champion and once
Tag
and
team
now twice.
champion, Money in the Bank winner, and pretty much runner up in 2 Rumbles at this point. Now on
Yeah,
the verge. Now, if she goes into the Royal Rumble, I'm gonna throw this question to y'all: which number should she enter? Because I think you could have her enter a number that's pretty much lucky, or you have her enter as an entrant from a number that hasn't been a winner from yet. I think either one could work.
yeah, either one. She needs to either enter at the number that gets the most wins or a number that haven't got a win yet. Either one will work for Liv as long as she
I
wins.
I think she should start it.
Start
If
at
you
number
really want
one.
to elevate, I think she should start it. If you really want to elevate her, start
Yeah,
it.
she could
And let
even,
her finish it.
try to go. She could even be
Well,
try to
she did
break
prove
Becky.
it.
She could even try to break not Becky's but Bailey's record and start
Because
from
think
number
about
one
it,
and just go all the way to the finish line.
she came in at number 30 this year, and the year before that, when her and Rhea went the gauntlet, Rhea came in at number 1. Liv Morgan came
Yeah,
out at number 2.
yeah,
And then if you think about Bailey, she came in at number 3 this year.
yeah,
Have Liv Morgan come out at number 1, and she beats not only Rhea Ripley's record, because she only was off by 1 second, but beat Bailey's too.
yeah.
That's going to elevate her as a new star.
No, have him beat the record and win the Rumble.
Yeah, have her beat the record and win the Rumble.
Win the Rumble.
She's gonna be a
You
big
really
star.
you want to elevate her? I mean, you want to bring her to the next level of her career. This is, I
I
think
mean,
this will
I
be
can
a
do
way
that,
to do it.
but at the same time, I feel like knowing WWE, with her being a heel, her coming in as a late entrant, maybe a 23 or 24, something like that, and then kind of just playing that to her strengths, because it kind of gives me reminiscent of what happened right before we were starting to see her turn heel, and this was in 2023 in the lead up to that Rumble. People
Yeah,
said, remember when people were having that conversation? I think it was Raquel. Um, who else was in that exchange? I think it was before she got released, Emma. But like, remember they were having a conversation with her. They said, Liv Morgan, don't you think it would be better if you enter late at the Rumble because somebody of your caliber would benefit, maybe having a better chance of winning at a late
yeah,
number? So maybe that comes into play too, but she wins in a sneaky fashion. Maybe she learns from her past 2 failures is that she has to have eyes in the back of her head because she doesn't know who's behind her, like what happened with Bailey or what happened with Rhea. Maybe she kind of pulls like a Dolph Ziggler where she looks like she's got eliminated, but she went through the middle rope or went under the rope and she hides until the end.
until the end.
And then pulls
Yeah,
like a
she can do
Rusev.
that too.
Then pulls like a Rusev when looks like maybe whoever's celebrating, maybe it's a Becky Lynch or Charlotte, and it looks like they won. But only
Nah,
Liv Morgan.
I think if you if you really wanna make her, if you really wanna benefit her career, yeah. But then again, yeah, you could do that too. That doesn't make sense. But
Because
I think if you really want to benefit her career, I think she should start at 1 and finish it.
if you have her come out at 1,
Or Rey Mysterio.
it's
I think Rey
you
Mysterio
can do
did
that.
that.
He came in at number 2, I believe. But it
Oh
really
yeah,
comes down to who are the final 4 that you have her in the ring with that will really help her elevate. Would you have a Charlotte? Would you have a Becky in there? And maybe someone like an EO or someone else? Like having those
You
2
have
big names.
Charlotte.
You definitely got to have Charlotte and Bianca as one of the final 4.
So maybe Charlotte, Bianca, and Becky and Liv.
Yeah,
Because
that would definitely work.
this year it was Bianca, Jade, Liv, Bailey.
Yep.
So now have Liv do a shocking win of eliminating a Charlotte. That will get people talking. Oh wow, people thought Charlotte was gonna win. Nah, Liv Morgan eliminated her, setting up a potential match down the line, even if it's that same year or the next year or whatever the case is. Then she pretty much lets Becky and Bianca go at it because their history, and Liv Morgan just sits and play like she's hurt, and she used that to her advantage. And maybe while both of them are tied up, she eliminates both of them.
Definitely could work. Definitely could work. But moving it along here, we've been basically on speculation train for a long time. We got the Judgment Day. And this was an interesting one where Liv Morgan and Raquel and was really messing with Finn. They was like, you heard them like, yeah,
listen, when you Finn, you get the win.
We listen to Finn and we win. I listened to Finn. I won at Saturday Night Main Event, but why didn't it work for Finn? And Finn was sitting there
yo, where y'all at? Y'all was supposed to come help me.
Right. He was like, you know what I'm wondering? Where was y'all at when I was getting jumped to on one? I'm just like, oh my God.
Hey, you know that after what happened later in the show with them losing the tag titles, which we're gonna talk about later. You know how like they said when you listen to Finn, you get the win. Well, now you're gonna have to change that. When you listen to Finn, you get pinned.
Yeah.
Because Liv listen to Finn Balor got her pinned in War Games.
They said, they was like, well, JD was focusing on the War Raiders, like what we thought you should be doing, focus on the War Raiders as well. But now that she said, but we pretty much thought you had it, and you pretty much gonna have to have it now because we're banned from ringside. But don't worry, when we listen to Finn, we win. And Raquel was like, yeah, right, Raquel, because you got your match later on. And she was like, yeah, I got my match later on. But like you said, when we listen to Finn, we win. And I'm just like, Finn's about to basically lead the group at this point. He's going to be the next person.
How they're going to do that? No,
I think when he does leave the group, I think that's like the end of Judgment Day. Like, I think
unless it's like where we said before, I want to know how this is going to work because they're making Finn seem like a heel, but at times a face because of his interaction. So it makes me wonder, are they going to get it to where Finn gets kicked out and maybe he turns babyface in the grand scheme of things, and maybe Finn, you kind of you said, split. Like you get Finn, you get JD or Lord Farquaad, like to call him, and then Carlito. They go off and do their thing.
Lord Farquaad. He huffed and he puffed and he sent us a victory notice.
Then if you split that, you send what? You send Dom, Raquel, and Liv to SmackDown. But I think Finn would have to go too, because if you want him to get that world title, if we're gonna have Gunther go to SmackDown, his chance.
No. That's why I said if not the whole Judgment Day, it needs to be Dom and Finn who goes to SmackDown.
But I think all of them,
Dom, Finn, and Liv at least, that needs to go to SmackDown.
Raquel needs to.
Now people say
I think Raquel needs, or it needs to be some. If you know what I'm saying, all of them, it needs to be a combination of at least Finn and Dominic Mysterio and maybe Raquel.
I can see that, but but I think what's gonna happen if we're gonna have the Bloodline story being moved over from SmackDown to Raw, I think the Judgment Day story is probably gonna get moved from Raw to SmackDown and have all of them over there and finish their story of pretty much and whatnot. Because I feel like if we're gonna see Finn Balor go after that world title and get his actual time in the sun, I think his chances of winning a world title would be better if he's going after the world title around Gunther on SmackDown than his chances of winning it over on Raw. Because if you think about it, his chances are going to be very low. Think about it. You have Cody. You pretty much going to have a Kevin, Randy. You have Roman. You got Solo over there. You got Rock potentially coming back in. You have maybe a Damian over there. His chances are extremely low. The only time he can probably get a single title if he's going after the IC title.
That's why I said 2025
is supposed to be a big year. 2025 is supposed to be a big year for somebody like Finn Balor. People want him to pretty much win a world title. There's many ways you can do that. Maybe he wins the Rumble, surprisingly, because there were rumors for him to win in 2018 when it came down to him, Shinsuke, Roman, and Cena. People wanted to see him win, but they pivoted to have Shinsuke win. He could have won Money in the Bank. I say next year he is winning either the Royal Rumble or he is winning Money in the Bank next year. One of these two, he's winning.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I can see Money in the Bank.
I
I
can see
want to
that.
say Dominic, but I think Dominic's story is winning either the US or IC title next year.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yo, it's going to be a whole Eddie Guerrero transfer. I'm trying to tell y'all that.
Shane,
It's going to be great.
But
we
here's
haven't
what they
heard from
said.
you. I know we meant to get to you, and we got on speculation train. But what did you think about the CM Punk and Seth Rollins promo before we move on?
The CM Punk. It was pretty good. I think, dang, what did the CM Punk call Seth Rollins something? He's talking about you got your Ethan something shades on. The singer talking about he thought he was Ethan
He
something.
was he basically compared him to Elton John, and I
Oh,
forgot about that part. He did say that. He said for the sensitives, I'm not saying being compared to him is a bad thing. I'm just saying he's no Elton John.
I was like, okay, CM Punk, you got the last, but no, there was fighting for real. They need a herb, and I mean, I'm excited for them to do it at Netflix. We do got some good fights for Netflix, but I feel like they will have to let it go after Royal Rumble because if CM Punk wants to go after Gunther, or I guess Gunther, that means that they will have to cut it short. I mean, we don't want a long feud anyway, like how him and
Or it would
what's
be
his,
Cody if
yeah, or
Cody comes to
Cody.
Raw. Yeah.
We don't want a long feud like how he did with um
Drew
dang, what's his
McIntyre.
name?
Oh
The
yeah,
other one.
we definitely don't want no Drew McIntyre.
Matt Riddle. Yeah, him and Matt Riddle was fighting for years. We don't want that. So
Shoot.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that man's up in TNA right now. Currently,
Yeah,
we don't
no,
want that.
we don't want this to be a drawn out feud though. We definitely don't.
but I think Drew
Mm-mm.
is gonna go after Roman at some point. Though I want to see
No,
that.
no, yeah,
Oh yeah, we know that. We know that.
Drew's definitely
Drew
going
should
after
win.
Roman.
Drew, if they make
Yeah,
it a best of three, Drew should win.
Drew should win because he got screwed the last time, so he
And
does
then
get to win.
same thing we said earlier when we talked about the whole Liv and Rhea feud. Every time we see Drew and Roman face, Roman wins every single time. Drew
Right.
has never been able to beat Roman a lot of times because
Fair.
of interference.
Yeah. I mean, I think it will shut Drew up. If Drew wins, it will shut him up. But I really don't see Drew beating The Rock, or if that does happen, or one of those people. But him
No,
he,
I
he
don't see
might beat
Drew beating the
Roman.
Rock. I don't see
Oh
Drew
no,
beating the Rock, but I can see
the
him beating
final
Roman.
boss.
And then now,
Yeah, I don't
Look at you
I'll
now,
see
boy.
it.
um, but afterwards, after that whole Judgment Day promo, we did get to the Seth Rollins backstage arguing with Adam Pearce about making the match official, which Leo already has said. This is the part he was talking about when he said we was getting it at Saturn. We was getting it. No, actually, that was later. This was just when Seth was arguing with Adam Pearce, and Adam Pearce was just basically like, you know what? If you two would stop trying to rip each other's hair out and beat each other up for 10 minutes, I could get something done. He said, y'all leave each other alone. I could go get work done and get the match made official. He was like, well, go do your job. Go do your job. And then after the first match of the night, we will get to what Leo was talking about. But we do finally get there to the first match of the night, which is Ludwig Kaiser versus Braun Breaker for the IC Championship. And this was a pretty good opening match. I like it. I like how they let Ludwig work over an injury with Braun's arm. Like he injured his arm and all that type of stuff. And he just worked it over. And so he was like just a one arm man for pretty much after that. Like before that, they had a pretty good starting point. But once he injured his arm, it was just like he was just a one arm man. Like he couldn't even do his usual rev up when he went for the spear at the end. He basically he couldn't barely get his single leg off because of the arm injury. But overall, it had some good spots. I like that spot where Braun dives from the apron over to the people, to whoever it is, and knock him over the announcer table. That's a pretty good spot there. But I think in this particular match, it did more harm to Braun Breaker than it did good. But pretty much pretty good match. I enjoyed it. wasn't bad. It really elevated Ludwig Kaiser, in my opinion, and but Braun Breaker would get the victory with a not, even though they called it a super spear. I don't think it was really a super. It really wasn't that super because he
Nah,
was so hurt. He was so
super,
hurt. It was just like a normal
a
spear.
super spear is pretty much like would probably be if Louis Kaiser jumped off the top rope and then got hit midair or something.
Yeah, no, that would be
Now
like
the
I think
definition.
I think Edge got done like that by Goldberg. I think
You want a definition?
somebody came off the top rope and Goldberg speared him in midair.
You
And it
want a
was like
definition? If you want a
that
definition
was
of super
bad.
spear, if you want a definition of super spear, go to Survivor Series 2016 when Shane McMahon tried to do that coast to coast and got hit got hit with a concussion, getting hit with a spear. That man was lights
Uh huh.
out.
Yeah, but
That man was
that is our
incredible.
match with Braun Breaker getting the victory. Shay, what do you think about that Braun Breaker and Ludwig Kaiser match?
I don't know. I don't remember that match. I guess because I was watching NFL too. It was two um things on that night, so I was flipping back and forth. But I did see a little bit of it. It was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't a bad match. I'm surprised they fought again after the other match. They wasn't Sheamus and them. Yeah, that. So I'm
Mhm.
surprised they fought again that fast. But yeah, it was all right.
I
He
think
was
this
gonna
was
win.
I think this was set up like last week. I remember after Sheamus got injured thanks to Ludwig Kaiser, Ludwig went up to Braun backstage and basically challenged him for the match, but they never like announced when it was going to happen. And I think last week they made it more intensified with Ludwig Kaiser basically slapped Braun Breaker last week.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. I remember that.
so
Yeah, yeah.
like I think this was yeah, it was like 2 weeks ago when Ludwig challenged him for the title.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that but like you said, it was a good opening match. Um, Leo, what do you think about it?
I thought the match was really cool. I know they're really trying to give Louis Kaiser. I feel like 2025 is going to be a breakout year for him. I think we're starting to see glimpses of that, and I think we've kind of just really haven't. We just only scratched the surface of what he's really capable of doing. Um, and this was a good test for him to show that he can hang in the mid card. And I think next year, depending on where they do, if they do send the SmackDown with Gunther or whatever the case is, I can see him getting his hands on that US championship. Because I feel like IC title might be a little bit more hard for him to obtain right now, especially with a lot of the names over there. You're gonna probably still have Damien in the mix. You're probably gonna have Sheamus still eyeing that title and getting that title as well. So I like that. Then you kind of had that little moment during the match where pretty much both guys were playing hide and seek because Louis Kaiser was all by himself trying to look around for Braun Breaker, and then he turned around and he was found right then and there and got a clothesline for his troubles. And that was pretty much the beginning of that match. But it was cool. It was cool.
Mm. All right. Punch. What do you think?
Um, I was with Shay on this one. I was kind of flipping back and forth myself. Uh, but the match is cool. I said this time again. The mid card championship is looking real great. With people like Braun Breaker, uh, Kaiser, you still got people like Jay, um, Eagle Dragunov when he comes back.
Mm-hmm.
So I see titles looking real good right now. So it just really elevated Kaiser, and to me he was always, no offense to Gunter, but he was always the better competitor. Just to say, um,
Mhm.
but yeah, it just elevate him, and he's definitely gonna be a star in the making. So it's I think his future is bright. Um, Braun Breaker is definitely gonna be in the world title scene soon. So I mean, yeah, the match was cool. You know, it elevated both guys for the most part. It's a dope match.
Yeah. All right. All right. So bear with me here because It's a lot of promos coming your way now because this was a very promo heavy show by the fact that there was only 3 matches, but this is promo heavy because this is going to be like it's going to be a minute before we get to the second match of the night. So we start. Jeez, it's just so funny how many promos I got written.
Wait till we go to 3 hours. We probably get more of it.
Oh yeah.
Jesus.
So we start with the New Day. So the New Day is basically walking backstage. They kind of feel jaded because they try to say something to like a staff back there, but he just kept walking. So then they get to the locker room. They get ready to go in there, but they stop by Rey Mysterio, and he said, "What? You're not gonna let us into the locker room?" He was like, "He said, you got a problem? You got a problem with us?" He was like, "It's not just me; it's everybody in that locker room." And he was like, "What do you mean? Like, you mean after 10 years of sharing a locker room, like you know, nobody wants to be around us or talk to us or hear our side of the story? Like, you like, come on, Ray, you supposed to be a locker room leader, do something." And Ray just like, it's nothing I could do. But he said, my suggestion for you is that you need to find yourself a different locker room to change in and be in. And they were like, you know what? I think it was who said, you know what? We didn't want to share a locker room with y'all anyway, and walk away. And you see Kofi just looking disappointed. And they was like, I'm like, yeah, I mean, would you expect? I do like how even though they didn't, you would think they attacked Big E. You would think the way how they getting treated, you would think on that New Day special, it went just like how we said it was gonna go. Xavier attacked Big E, but in this case, Kofi joined in. They just beat the hell out of Big E for no reason. Like you would think that's what happened, but all they did was just tell Big E they don't need it no more. But they treating it like they attacked Big E. Like everybody hates them like they
outcast right now. They're outcast right now.
Right, they the outcast. I'm surprised that the crowd just basically booed Dominic Mysterio and we'll get to that in a minute, but they gave basically both of them the treatments now. Now they both can't talk no more. Like, oh God. That is good. Like I will admit, I'm still not feeling Xavier and them being together, but I will admit it is cool with how they treating the story.
I wonder what they theme song gonna be when they first, had a match. I don't know if it's gonna be the New Day or something different.
I think that's why they haven't had a match yet. I think they waiting on their new theme song to be made.
And then new attire.
If you know that, they new attire, new thing. So because when they came out to the ring, got booed out the building, they ain't have no music. So I think that's what they're waiting on. They waiting on their new music.
That was a great thing.
They're getting when they came out with no music right now.
Yeah, exactly.
The crowd was his theme, his song.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm just saying. I think the reason why they didn't have music because they didn't want to play the happy New Day music when they not the happy New Day no more. So I was figuring the reason why they didn't come out with no music because they was waiting on their new music to be made. So they just figured just for the atmosphere purposes, don't come out with no music.
Yo, and the way they getting treated right now, golden.
Golden. That's why I said this is golden. We got a video package from the War Raiders, talking about how the trials and tribulations they went through to get to this point, and that they need to win this to prove to their children that they, could have they have to be champions. Their children can be proud of them and all that type of stuff. And based on how they fought back from their injuries or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Then we would get to what I meant to say when I said Leo was talking about earlier. This is the promo where it was just nobody but Adam Pearce, where he announced that another match besides Roman Reigns and Solo in Tribal Combat, he announced that it is official that Seth Rollins and CM Punk will be fighting on Netflix on January 6th. So we have officially 2 matches now. For that Netflix debut. Then, like I said, still more promos. We get Liv Morgan in them. and now we understand why from that Judgment Day promo why she said get the microphone. Um, Dominic Mysterio will try to introduce Liv and basically boast about her being the greatest women's world champion of all time, but of course they wouldn't let him talk, and that's why I was like, Jesus, they still boo. I thought, I would think they would probably, tone down on Dominic some
They
now
ain't.
since they got the New Day to boo, and they still boo Dominic out the building. But no, yeah, he so Liv just used the microphone that she said it herself, and she used the megaphone to even speak over the crowd about her being the greatest women world champion, how 2024 has been her year, and 2025 is going to even be bigger. I do like, though, that kind of hint that Rhea was coming out, if you caught it, at the end of Liv's promo, where she kind of started speaking real fast because she knew Rhea's music was going to hit. So you kind of get that little sense of timing with WWE's timing on their promos, because then she started saying, she started going, yeah, blah, 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 and she started going real fast, and then that's where Rhea's music is. So I'm like, that's a little subtle nod to backstage politics. She knew it was cue time for Rhea. So Rhea would come out, and she basically it was something about her top that threw me off. Now I just realized her top is nothing but belts. It's like, if you realize Rhea's top was nothing but just the usual black belts that you could get from Walmart made into a halter top. And I was just like, that's unique. That's really unique. But no, she came out and challenged Liv Morgan, said enough is enough, that this went on for long enough, and that this needs to finally come to an end, and that Adam Pearce made it official that she is the number one contender, and it will be Liv versus Rhea
At some
for the
point.
title at some point. And you got to think maybe it's going to be one of the matches. It is going to be a 3-hour show, so that probably going to be one of the matches at the Netflix show. They didn't confirm it. It's not confirmed. They never confirmed it, but I had to assume that that's going to be one of the matches they put on for the Netflix show. Because this would be really awkward to drag this whole thing out into the Royal Rumble. Because I think this needs to happen before the Rumble, so that we know whoever's facing what at the Rumble, and whoever going to be in the Royal Rumble match themselves. But I don't know. This could be it's either going to happen at Raw or Netflix, or it's going to happen at the Rumble. That's the two logical places that's going to happen. But then she said, but once I take the title with you, she said something about then all she'll be left with is your chicken nugget slut. I'm like, or your chicken tender slut. I'm like,
I'm looking at them like, why you gotta do my boy Dom like that? Like, Dom didn't deserve it.
Did you see Dom's face? He just looked so hurt. Like, what?
Why would you say that?
Why would you say that? Like, he had this puppy dog look on his face. Like, I was just like, why did he do like that?
What did he do?
Like, and then I'm like, like he acted like he was so
innocent over here.
Nothing. So that was kind of cool. I like that. And that was pretty much the end of that, because finally we still got more promos, but the only person who stayed out there in the ring was whatchamacallit, Raquel, because her match was up next. Yeah. But that would be the end of that promo. And we still, and the funny thing is, we still got 2 more promos left before we get to the second match, and I already went through at least a good 3 and 4 promos right now, and we still got more before the second match. But before we move on, Punch, what did you think about this promo with Liv Morgan and Rhea?
I mean, can we just have the match so we can move on?
Exactly.
So,
and then you know what? That's the sad part is, even when we do get the match, it's not the end of it. The end of it is probably going to be WrestleMania.
Jesus Christ!
My thing is this: I don't, like we said earlier. I think if you have Rhea win the belt back, what would really stamp the the idea Liv's win the Rumble. Could you imagine like they plan Becky Lynch to come back, and then like soon as Liv Morgan gets beat for the title, Becky Lynch is back and
No,
gets herself back. That stamp,
no,
because they did say they want her to have a different character and not with the iteration of the man. She wants to move away from that. If Even if it's not like a long-term thing, maybe it's just from like the first Raw on Netflix to Rumble, or like the first Raw on Netflix to like Saturday Night Main Event or something. Maybe like 3-4 weeks of them pretty much feuding. Liv wins the Rumble, and like I said earlier, she can tease that she goes after Rhea, but maybe
Oh,
Rhea
that
does
was
something
next
else.
month too. I think we do got another Saturday Night Main Event next month. That's gonna be another place where that Liv and Rhea match is gonna take place.
Oh,
here we go.
But I think Liv is winning the Rumble. If she loses this belt, regardless, she's winning the Rumble. I
Oh yeah,
don't see anybody else winning.
yeah,
And I
no.
see her maybe with this whole transfer portal, because they said champions are eligible. She goes to SmackDown. I think if she wins the championship, she goes to SmackDown. Even if
she's
she
gonna
loses.
need to, because she's gonna get over. She's gonna get
Yeah, because
overshadowed.
right
Yeah,
now, like we said, they plan to have Bianca on that show, Charlotte,
yeah,
Becky, Rhea, Jade, all 5 of those women on the same brand.
yeah,
So you put Liv on SmackDown, she can be the woman on that show running things. Because you have
No,
Bailey over there, you got Nia, you got Tiffany. I said even earlier, Liv wins the Rumble. Maybe Tiffany wins the championship in the lead up to Mania. Liv challenges her for the belt at Mania.
you know what I really You know what I really feel bad for?
Who?
The women's IC title mid card division. Period. Because the names that you just said that's going to go to Raw, those storylines is going to overshadow any of the mid card women's.
that's true.
I mean, not necessarily.
Why?
Not
Why?
necessarily.
Cause everybody gonna be
Why?
considered. Everybody gonna be so happy. Oh, Charlotte's back. Oh,
Because
Becky's
this
back.
is
They're gonna be
for
focusing on that.
I mean, of course, that's gonna be a big thing when Charlotte come back or whatnot. I'm not gonna say that. I'm
My
not
girl
saying
said,
it's
"Yeah,
not
I'm
a
with
big
it."
Hold
thing,
on.
but no,
Before
no,
you give your opinion, we are talking about Triple H's booking. Let's
no,
get
yeah,
that.
no, no,
Let's
yeah,
get
no,
that
no.
clear.
No, we are talking about Triple H's booking, but
Go ahead.
if you do it correctly, like if it's going to be 3 hours, then you have a whole hour to promote that whole title. You have the whole
Yeah,
Okay.
hour.
that title
You have
will
a whole
be
hour to
crowned.
promote that.
Somebody will be
That's
crowned the champion on that
with
show.
it being 3 hours, you got at least two. You got 2 of the 3 to use it for the star power and whatnot, and then you could use the last hour to help promote that to make it so that it doesn't get overshadowed. That's if they
Right,
do
right,
it that
right,
way. That's if they do
right,
it that way.
right.
But
The U.S.
if you just so gun ho focus on the whole star power, and then you want to give like a 5 minutes to the IC title, then yes, like Shane said, this is just going to be a waste of time. It just feels so bad for them
y'all,
But like I was
because
and
saying,
right.
I feel like they're gonna. I feel like it's gonna go that way unless they give it to like Becky or somebody like that.
but
No more
like
Becky. No more
That would
but
be
Becky.
like we
like
but like
if
we
it
said
goes that
earlier,
way, the only time it's going to get shine is somebody like Becky and them hold the belt.
but like we said even earlier, if we do have this match on for the world title on Raw, right? Because I feel like that's the idea. My problem is this. Like, and I said it earlier, if you have Liv lose to Rhea, it will kind of just hurt her in the grand scheme of things. Because like same thing would happen with Ronda. She lost the title
Right.
to the same person she beat. That does
Hmm.
not help her in the grand scheme of things when they're trying to push her as being in the conversation with the likes of Bianca, Charlotte, Becky, and Rhea. She has to beat those women to be in that conversation. Her
Right.
winning would do wonders for her. But my thing is this: if you have Rhea Ripley win the belt back, Rhea's probably gonna have her challenger already set up. But with the year that Liv has had, you don't you have to capitalize on that some way somehow. You don't just have her have a year like this and put her right back in the tag team division. You just don't.
Mm-hmm.
She needs to be in a top storyline with somebody over a championship come Mania. I really do.
That's
And you
why.
guys said she
That's
shouldn't be in the
why I
mid card
said.
title.
That's why I said if Rhea takes the title in this matchup they have, then you have her win the Rumble. That way, you don't. That's how you. That's how you not kill Liv's momentum and ruin her. Is by having her. Okay, she lost the title, but she wins the Rumble, and pretty much whoever she chooses to face, it needs to be. It should be Rhea to give her that rub. That way, she can have a WrestleMania moment, win the title, and that's completely it of the feud. Because then
Right.
it's separated.
But
They go because most likely, you got you probably got Nia Jax or whoever on Raw for her to feud with on Raw.
and if you do this, you could also do like how Edge did in 2021, where he went to all three brands and teased potentially challenging anybody for the title. He teased going to NXT facing Karrion Kross for the NXT Championship. He teased going
Right.
to Raw to face like I think Drew McIntyre or Bobby Lashley at the time for the WWE Championship. Then eventually went on to face Roman for the Universal title. They can have Liv Morgan win the Rumble and tease potentially going after Rhea Ripley again. You can tease her going down to NXT to confront like a Roxanne Perez for or like a Julia for the NXT title. And you can tease her going over to SmackDown, and maybe if Tiffany Stratton wins the title, tease her and Tiffany. And if you want to, have her go over to SmackDown and face Tiffany at Mania.
No, I'm sorry. To me, this feud with Rhea needs to end. It needs to
No,
end.
it does.
I do.
That's why I
Oh, it
said
does.
I think the best thing for Liv is she needs to end the feud with Rhea on top. She needs to be the
Right.
one to
To
end the feud
establish
and her
herself
be
as
on
the
top
woman.
just to end the feud.
Because
Just
She
on
needs
the
to
strength
end.
of the fact that Rhea has been booked dominant and has the more of the
the
win
win,
columns in this feud. So
yeah,
to
it's
cap
right
it
now,
off,
it's
to
3-1.
Rhea, it needs to end with Liv beating Rhea before they move on to different feuds.
Because it's
It
Right.
three to
needs to
one.
go like that.
Because 3-1. Liv won at SummerSlam. Bash in Berlin. What happened? Rhea Ripley pinned Liv Morgan to set up a match at Bad Blood. Liv was supposed to win, but how that match ended, it kind of just was a wonky finish, and
Mhm.
therefore Rhea Ripley won via DQ. So right now, with those three encounters, it's 2-1. Rhea Ripley 2, Liv Morgan 1. And then what happened at Survivor Series? Liv Morgan
She got
gets
10.
pinned by Rhea Ripley. So as it stands right now, Rhea Ripley is 3 to Liv Morgan's 1.
And she's
Yeah.
about to, if it's going the way I think it's going, it's about to be 4. But Punch, go ahead and finish your thoughts about this Liv Morgan promo.
I mean, like I said, it needs to end at some point. I hope it's before Mania so that we can so that we can go into uh Raw going into Netflix. And y'all gotta remember, SmackDown is it's going to be a big thing because it's going into 3 hours.
Yeah, both.
Um, yeah, we need to end this feud at some point. At like,
I really do agree with Punch on that one because, and it kind of goes
I
back to
mean,
what I saw a couple weeks ago on SmackDown. Dominic talking to Nick Aldis in the background. I
yeah, I
think
had
that's
missed that.
gonna.
I didn't see that until after
I think what
SmackDown.
happens is that's leading to maybe Liv Morgan losing the title to Rhea Ripley, and Rhea Ripley stays on Raw with the title, but Liv jumps over to SmackDown, and then maybe she wins the Rumble and challenges somebody on SmackDown for that belt. Therefore, you
yeah,
end the feud, but
yeah.
you capitalize and have her go after a different belt, have fresh feuds with other people.
I mean, that would end it, but it wouldn't. It'll be an asterisk to her name. It. Don't need to be an asterisk because they're gonna just try to rebound back to it because she didn't end it dominant. It needs
She didn't
to
end it. No,
completely
yeah,
to completely end it. It needs to end with either Liv getting completely beaten and is it, but that's just gonna lead them back to doing it. But it needs
Like a
to end.
rematch.
It just gonna lead to another rematch down the line somewhere. So for real, it needs to end with Liv getting that victory over Liv I mean, over Liv getting the
Rhea.
victory over Rhea, and Rhea moving completely on because
Because
this started with Rhea taking out Liv, so it's an end with Liv
You know what?
beating Rhea.
Have the match at the Rumble.
I mean that's why I say it's only two things that's coming up. Three. You got Raw at Netflix. You got the next Saturday night main event, and you got the
Oh,
Rumble.
have it at the Rumble.
One of them
Here's the
is going to take place at one of them.
but like you
Because
said,
you could tell by the way they was talking last night. They didn't even try to confirm when it was going to happen. They just confirmed that it's going to
Rumble.
happen.
Look, this is the thing, right? Have the match as the opener, right? You have Liv lose the match,
but wins the Rumble the
wins
same
the
night.
Rumble that same night.
Hey, that's usually how they do things. When somebody has a title match and they walk in as champion and lose in the opening match, they always go on to win the Rumble the same night. I can't remember a
You put
wrestler
her
that
like
I think
you
Brock
put her
Lesnar
like
was the
at
last
fit.
person to do
You
Brock
put
that.
her
Lesnar did
like
that.
you put her like at 15, 16. It's to where she still looks dominant in the Rumble, even though she had a match. And she's right in the middle of the number, like 14, 15.
Don't come at 14. That's bad luck. 14 is bad luck in the Rumble if you come out at 14.
15. You put her at 15, and she wins it.
I say it's like you said. And if you want to have her beat Rhea, this is kind of like similar to what you guys were saying earlier with the Charlotte and Rhea situation at WrestleMania 39. Charlotte gave Rhea Ripley the rub. Rhea Ripley gives Liv Morgan the rub.
Yeah, the only reason why I say it should be like that because in the last few WrestleManias, we haven't had someone like Liv main event or nothing. It's been dominated by either Rhea and Charlotte or Bianca. So we need something different for WrestleMania.
Liv will actually be the one to win it at WrestleMania if Rhea. And this is how you end the feud.
Because think about who the
that's
first
how you end
challenger.
it. That's what I was saying. That's how you end it. That would be the perfect end to it.
Because if you have either Liv wins the Rumble or you have her win Chamber, but it would mean way more from a monumental standpoint.
She win the Rumble.
Yeah, no, it would mean way more if she went at the Rumble. Either or would work, but it would mean more if it's the Rumble win.
But Liv beats Rhea to submit herself as the champion, get her title back, and who's the first challenger on the first Raw after? You can have numerous people.
No, she would be on SmackDown. I think she takes the title to SmackDown.
She'd be on SmackDown.
Yeah, she
have
takes
Bianca.
Maybe have Bianca be the first. To SmackDown, and you got you have like someone like
maybe Alexa Bliss.
Somebody challenge her for the title again.
Have Alexa. Alexa Bliss.
Call me crazy. Have Roxanne.
Roxanne.
Roxanne. That would work, but then wouldn't you be turning her back into a babyface?
Well, she's a good babyface, but she can play a good heel. But if we're gonna keep Liv as a heel, you can't. You won't.
For some apparent reason, you won't be able to do it, especially if they're going to give Liv that big moment at WrestleMania. As a heel going, like if she going to face, to me, call me cuckoo. I know Rhea's over, but if we're gonna do the same night with Liv Morgan thing, I think Rhea should dumb down to be the heel for that moment.
But here's the thing. My
question is, the heel going into the WrestleMania match, right?
If we with this
that's what I was saying. She's the heel going into all of this, but she's just the one to end the feud. That's what I'm saying.
But like we said earlier, she's a villain. But if we're being honest, she is the hero in this in her whole sentiment. Now, my thing is this: this would be a great way to end this feud. What is the best way to end a grueling feud such as this? Stipulation match.
Oh yeah,
we haven't had a stipulation. Liv Morgan she loses the championship either at Saturday Night Main Event or, like you said, Punch, at the Rumble, goes on the same night and wins the Rumble, kickstart that feud once again, allows, between that time, Liv Morgan do our own kind of tease stuff, but Rhea Ripley is having other challengers to go after the belt, and then Liv makes her decision maybe at a chamber. You kickstart that feud once again, gets so brutal and grueling between these two that they can't keep their hands off each other. We see none other than Adam Pearce come out and say, enough is enough. You two have been fighting each other for the best part of 2 years at this point, back and forth, back and forth. It needs to end once and for all. So at WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas, it'll be Liv Morgan, the Royal Rumble winner, versus Rhea Ripley, the Women's World Champion, for the title inside Hell in a Cell.
At WrestleMania?
Yep.
That could work. That could
The
work.
last time we seen Hell in a Cell was Balor and Edge. That they were telling for
No,
months.
it was. Didn't
The
we just
loser
get
goes.
when did we
The
just get
loser
that bad
goes to
blood?
SmackDown.
No, WrestleMania 39 was Finn Balor and Edge. We didn't have one.
Oh, you talking
We
about
had
at
a-
WrestleMania? Oh, I'm gonna say
So-
the last Hell in a Cell match was at Bad Blood.
So have it be at WrestleMania,
Loser goes to SmackDown.
and yeah, the loser leaves SmackDown, or loser go to SmackDown.
Or go to SmackDown at this point.
Yeah.
Rhea loses, and Liv beats her clean. It's so brutal. She
But
hits
see, that's
an
in Rhea.
oblivion.
That's in Rhea, the SmackDown, and Liv still be overshadowed on the star power on Raw.
But
I
I would.
don't. Nah, I think it'd be
Are they going to do
better
a
for.
draft? If they do a draft, I feel like they're still going
I
to probably
don't,
do
I
a
don't
draft.
think they're gonna do one. They try to do this stuff now so that they don't have to do one later.
But
I
like,
don't think they're gonna
I
do
feel
it.
like regardless, with this whole transfer window, Liv could still go to SmackDown with the belt.
Yeah,
If they
that's
really
what's
do
going to
that.
happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's gonna be on SmackDown with the women's world title, and then we're gonna get Nia Jax.
They want
on
Nia
Raw.
Jax on Raw.
Yeah.
But they could do a stipulation if like with the Hell in a Cell match, because you can have those two go in there, give us a good match for maybe like 15, 20 minutes of interaction and cook. And then you
Yeah.
have
You still
submit
can
Liv
do that.
Morgan. Because think about it. Liv Morgan already teased that she can be a brutal person. Look at the stuff when she first lost the title. She was going down a brutal path. This past weekend, she faced Io and it got hit in the face and looked like she broke her nose and she was bleeding. And she didn't even mess with her face or anything. She let the blood come down to really show that she's a different person.
I think the storyline kind of would stale because we didn't see. I think people are getting tired of it because we didn't see change from Rhea. Like we didn't see no
that's the
downward
problem.
spiral. We
The
didn't see
problem is
anything.
no change.
And she didn't. She's just like Roman. She didn't apologize to none of anybody for what happened. She didn't apologize for Liv to say, "I'm sorry that I did this to you, and now this is the reason why you are the way you are now. I'm sorry, Dominic, that I didn't make you feel the way you were supposed to, or give you as much opportunities." She didn't apologize for anything for being a face.
We still booking her.
All she said was, "You just became what you hated."
Booking her strong. I think that's why people want this to end like now.
But I think the
because
reason why
it's getting stale.
people are mad because it's like
that's the same thing I was saying with Roman. This whole thing with the bloodline is getting stale because like it's just the same thing. Roman don't look different character wise.
Nope.
You gave him a different music, but yet he's still the same Roman. You still
Same
booking him. You still booking him as the same Roman.
Yeah.
You got him cutting a promo telling us something he lost everything, but it feels hollow because it don't look like he lost anything. It's like
I don't know. It's like you said, but like
y'all protecting Rhea and Roman.
If you want to think about it, like the reason why people are getting sour because look what happened. You had an opportunity to have when they took her out at NXT, have her had that injury to write her off for a couple months, bring her back at the Rumble. Then between that time, between now and the Rumble, you gotta have all that time to build up other challenges to face Liv, then have circle back to Rhea. But people also sour on the fact. People also sour because they know the end goal is potentially Rhea Ripley getting that title back. Nobody believes in Liv Morgan beating Rhea Ripley this time.
Yeah, because y'all keep booking her strong, or they keep booking her strong.
Matter of fact, are we near the Intercontinental, the women's
Oh yeah,
IC?
no, yeah, we about that's what we about to get to. That's why I said that's like the second match of the night, but it's some more promos before it. Yeah, but Shay, we didn't get to Shay. What do you think about Liv Morgan in the real promo?
It's boring. I'm sick of it. I'm done. Let's just move
See,
on. Let's just
exactly.
let the ass fight at what Saturday night main event in San Antonio, Texas. Shawn Michaels might be there. Just let them talk. Let them
I,
fight. Let
I
Liv
say
beat
they
the
don't
fuck.
fight at Netflix just to get this over with.
Oh yeah, Netflix is
That's
yeah
assuming what.
That
Netflix.
Netflix is pretty much like what 2 weeks away.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I
Netflix.
think we
Definitely
Yeah,
get
just
Netflix.
about.
Let Liv break the brakes off of I'm telling you, let Liv still keep the title right. Move Liv to SmackDown like y'all was. Put Nia Jax on Raw. That's better. Do it like that. Let Liv have new opponents. Let Liv challenge other people because there's a bunch of people on SmackDown that she can challenge. Let
Yep.
her have
Thank
her
you.
shine. Let it do like that and let her keep the title. Rhea do not
Because
need a title.
think about it,
But
and I like
the
what you
only
said.
thing, the
Did you see
problem
the
with that
rumors?
is if they do it that way, they just gonna have Rhea win the Rumble and challenge.
Right? Like we don't want to see
They
Rhea. We
just
don't
gonna go
let
right back
let
to
Hey,
let
you know what
Alexa
would be funny?
Alexa Bliss win.
you
You know what would be
cannot
funny?
have
This will
Rhea
be
win
so. This will be
anything.
the funniest thing I ever seen. Liv beats Rhea Ripley on the Raw Netflix, and she goes to SmackDown. Right? Rhea Ripley wins
Hmm.
the Rumble
Royal
to
Rumble.
face Liv at Mania.
I know.
And
Liv
then we
beats
just
Rhea
right back
again.
to it again.
That would
It's
be
like
funny if she beat her again.
that's why I
She
said
beats Liv again,
it
and
has
she
to
says,
be live all the way to end it.
and
Yeah,
Because
then
if
she
if
you
has
let
to
Liv,
beat
Rhea
her
win anything,
down.
it's just gonna keep coming back to Liv.
because if you look at the rumors, this is a rumor right now, and they're considering this. There are rumors right now to have Liv Morgan keep that championship going into SummerSlam next year as still Women's World Champion because it's in Jersey and they're promoting her heavy. If you look at the marquee, like the posters going into next year, a lot of them are
Hmm.
focused heavily on Liv Morgan. She's on the Rumble
Hmm.
poster. She's on the Chamber poster. She's on WrestleMania. She's on the three of your big shows already and SummerSlam.
Listen,
That's
Yeah.
why
I'm
I
cool
said.
with.
That's
Again,
why I
I'm
said they
cool
got to
with
have
that.
Liv end it. They just gonna have
I'm
Yeah.
Liv
cool with
end it
that.
in
They
some
just
way or
need.
fashion.
Listen, I'm cool with all that. They just need this rivalry to end because
ASAP.
Rhea is
And
looking
here's, I don't know how people
stale.
feel about this. Have Liv beat her, and then, like you said, Rhea can go do something else. She can have a
Yep.
non-title feud with someone else. If you want her to help elevate that women's mid-card championship scene, put her in the IC title scene.
Yeah.
The thing is
Rhea.
Rhea doesn't
Oh
need
no.
to be beaten Liv
They don't know.
permanently.
Oh
Rhea
no.
doesn't need to be beating Liv permanently, or she doesn't need to be winning the Royal Rumble. She won it
Matter of
last
fact,
year.
speaking. Hold on, wait. Matter of fact, speaking of the IC championships, you know what? We gonna get to that. Speaking of that, I have a problem with that. And the
Oh, we about to
problem
get
I have
to it.
is
I thought Raquel should have won. I'm gonna be honest.
Hell yeah, she should have won. I was
Because
rooting for Raquel. Why
this
Hold
is
did
on,
Zoe
me.
Stark win?
Look, look at.
hold on.
I gotta
Let me
get to
get
that
to
because I got a problem with that.
let
I
me
do
get to it.
too.
I
Shout
know Shay really wants to talk
out,
about it. Hold on.
before we
Same.
So
get there,
speak
before we
we
get
about
there, shout out to Chelsea Green because my girl won the U.S.
Michin, I
Championship.
think
Shout out to
Michin
Chelsea.
deserves her flowers though. People have been
Yeah,
crapping on
Meechin. Yeah,
Michin.
she did good.
Michin, she had
I
that
know
promo she had
they
afterwards.
about to
She
start a
said
feud with that. They about to start
Michin should probably be the one to take the title potentially
Yeah.
if you build a
She
long
should.
story.
yeah, she
But I
should.
think they're probably gonna do Piper and Chelsea with Piper turning
Oh yeah,
on
Piper about
Chelsea.
to turn on that girl. I
I
She's
think
about
see
that
to
it.
should
beat the
be what
brakes off her.
helped Michan win. I think
Yeah.
Michan deserves to be the second person with that title. She
Jeff or
Yeah.
deserves it.
Naomi will
Because
be the
I'll
third.
be scared. I'll be scared
No.
if you put Michin needs to stay on SmackDown. You ship her over to Raw. Oh, it's done.
Yeah.
She about to be fed to everybody.
Yep.
So
She gonna
But
be
yeah,
passed
so
around every wrestler like a
let me
blunt. That's what's gonna happen.
let's get back on track here. Because Shane is chomping at the bitch for this match. Uh So we got the promo backstage where uh Seth is about to be interviewed about his match being made official. And if you notice in the background, my man Drew is making a beeline for Seth. And I'm like, if you're trying, if you're about to attack Seth, if you're about to try to aggressively recruit him, but I think more in line he was getting ready to attack Seth, but then he gets attacked by Sami Zayn. They get the brawling, and that's probably going to be another match that's either going to be another Saturday Night Main Event or at Raw and Netflix. That's going to get made again. It looks like they feud is still going. Yeah. Then we get the Final Testament promo backstage, where the Miz is basically like, you know what?
I want out, please.
We beat the Y6. You know, we did what we said we was gonna do. I think it's pretty much we could go our separate ways now. You don't need me no more. And Karrion Kross is like, no. See, they did, they still got to pay for what they did to Paul Ellering and when they did to Scarlett. So you're not going anywhere. As a matter of fact, we got you a match with Dexter Lumis, who kidnapped you, and you're going to be fighting him next week. And to make sure, you need to go make sure that NXT
doing this.
They need to go make sure that happens, right? So then he tells Paul Ellering and them that, see, the Miz need to learn that when you make a deal with the devil, you can't run out on them. I'm like, that is starting to look like a deal with the devil.
They're treating it like a gang where you pretty much you get in, but there is no out.
There is no out. There is no out. The Miz like the poor dumb kid that usually like the good nerdy kid that got roped into the game. Now he wants out, but they won't let him out. But finally, for Shane, we get to, and I know it took us a long time to get here, but it actually, in the show too, it took them a long time to get here. But this is only the second match of the night, which is Zoe Stark versus Raquel Rodriguez versus Kaden Carter. This is like the Intercontinental Championship, first round of Intercontinental Women's Intercontinental Championship tournament. And Kaden Carter came out looking very good. I like that.
Yeah.
Finally, we're starting to see Raw do what SmackDown's been doing. They actually elevating their mid-card talent. And that's and throughout the SmackDown tournament, you saw the actual mid-carders get time to shine. And I've been wondering when Raw is going to do that with the Intercontinental, because the first couple of matches, I think with Dakota Kai, she really didn't get too much time to shine like she should have, like how they were doing on SmackDown, but she did win the match. And they finally did it here with Kaden Carter, where like, okay, she looked good. She actually had me like, okay, this is why I was saying it either need to be Zoe or Kaden Carter. It didn't need to be Raquel, though. I'm kind of okay with Raquel, but it needed to be Zoe or Kaden Carter. And I like that they gave her majority of the offense and that Zoe and Raquel was like pretty much putting her over. And then Zoe got put over. Like that, it was like, if we go in order of who got put over in this match, it was either it started with Kaden, then it was Zoe, and then they gave Raquel her props as the big strong woman. So she had all the big strong woman spots and she looked dominant, but they really gave majority of the offense to this match to Kaden Carter to make her look legit. And I like that. That was cool. That was what needed to be done. But in the end, it will be a Z60.
It's like a ZT 360, I think.
Yeah, I can't remember. I know it starts with a Z, but it was Zoe Stark's finisher that would end Kaden Carter and give Zoe the win, putting her in the semifinals against Dakota Kai. And now we're just waiting on to see who's going to win between well, it would have been Kyrie Sane. We don't know now, but what's that name? The Alba Fire. Yeah, Alba Fire. And
speaking of her, it looks like with the whole transfer window, looks like they're potentially moving Alba Fire and Isla Dawn back to NXT.
It makes
that's just messed up. That's messed up, especially for Alba Fire, because we know how good she is. Like, come on, put her back in NXT. We just seen Shotzi go to NXT last week, when I realistically feel like she could have been in the IC title division or US.
Do you see the problem?
but
That
yeah, but
women's
Joey Stars win the match. But since Punch,
women's
since this is what Punch wanted to
women's
talk about, I'm gonna let him go first.
that women's IC tournament is low carded as hell. And what do I mean by that? SmackDown's tournament had former women's champions. So any mid card women felt like it was a big deal when they pinned a former world champion compared to this Raw's mid card IC championship looked like a joke. And you see the
Yeah,
problem? It's
there
no
aren't really
star
legit.
power. It's no
Most of them
star
are like close
power.
to jobbers. Most of them are pretty much close to being
I
jobbers
think,
at this
but see,
point.
that's the point. It needs to be them. It needs to be about them.
Check me out. This is what I'm getting at. That's why we had that feud between Liv and Rhea for so long. Because who else was going to be able to be in that contender? That's what I mean.
If they would have
That's what
done it,
besides EO. Besides
EO
EO.
would have been
But that's
cool.
what besides EO. But that's
Yeah.
what I mean. There's no star power over there at all. There's nobody built up to even look like they can even go for the world title. So this mid card championship, it looks it looks bad because none of these women have even gotten built up to even look like contenders. Besides Kyrie saying, it looks bad. It looks bad. The crowd ain't really getting behind it. It looks
Nope.
terrible. And I'm not saying that having a women's mid card championship is not cool. If you looked on SmackDown, it was more interesting because you had some type of star power, but the mid carders still looked it like superstars because they either got a win over them or whatever the case may be. If you look, Bianca was in it, Naomi was in it, but they all lost. So
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea Green wins. Chelsea Green, when she won it, it meant a lot more. So
Mm.
whoever's going to win this IC championship, it's not going to mean nothing because who did they beat? You see what I'm saying now? You see the
And
difference?
it's about to get worse, apparently, Punch, because I was looking at potential rumors going into this tournament. And, I feel like Dakota Kai and Lyra probably will be your finalists, but they're planning a shocking swerve that I'm not behind at all whatsoever. And Punch, I know you're going to rage, so I'm preparing. I'm prepared for it. But they are highly in consideration to make the first women's intercontinental champion be none other than Natalia.
I know. Yeah, they said that. I know about that. They said people was pushing for it. They put
Oh,
the women are
Oh,
pushing
have
for
mercy,
Natalia to
Jesus.
be because they wanted to be similar.
No,
They wanted to be
no.
similar to the men's Intercontinental title where Brett and them was like the first winners of it. So
you know what?
they
It,
wanted to have that same feel.
I really been mad at it, but I'm not. And the only reason being is because who else do you have?
Because she is a mid Carter, and I feel like she is one of those few women that can help elevate other women around her.
Yeah, like who? Because who else? I'm sorry. Look, I'm sorry. None of the women on Raw, no disrespect to the talent, drew a dime. Nobody cares about that.
And if you want to
But
be
no,
honest
yes,
about it,
you
the
can't say that they
Raquel,
draw a dime because Kaden Carter got the crowd going after a while.
No, I'm not saying that. But if you look at it, right? If you look at it, right?
Dakota,
Nobody's gonna.
she's in a feud
Nobody's.
with
Yeah.
PFC. And then, like
I
Raquel,
mean,
I wanted her to win, but I
come on.
feel like a lot of people they look at her as a joke, and they said a lot of people think the only reason why people actually know anything about her is because of Liv Morgan. The only reason why she has any credibility or relevance is because of her association with Liv
No,
Morgan.
it's
I'm
not,
saying.
and that's not remotely true. Raquel was on track to being almost the person to take the title from Rhea she just kept. She had a whole condition that she
like that
couldn't help.
that illness, and it
Yeah.
She had
goes
a
back
whole
to that
illness that she
visual.
couldn't help, that
Remember
kept
that
taking her up.
visual that they had in NXT? I think in 2021, I believe we had Bianca, SmackDown Women's Champion, and she showed up on NXT that one episode. Rhea Ripley,
Yeah.
Raw Women's Champion, and then you had Raquel as the new NXT Women's Champion. And you had that visual of all three women in the ring that pretty much told you that these three women were going to be the future. And it felt like
Yep.
going after that, as soon as Raquel came up to the main roster, they kind of got it right with Rhea. They got it right with Bianca, but they haven't got it right yet with Raquel. And it seems like right now
Yeah.
Raquel's kind of step behind those other women in the sense of how she's being booked, how she's being portrayed, and how she is having matches. She's not having those compelling matches that are going to carry her to that level yet.
Oh,
Nope.
she's the one.
And she just lost.
She lost to Rhea. If you look at the match that her and Rhea Ripley had, we're going to be honest, Rhea Ripley, it was 80% of the match was Rhea Ripley and the other 20% was Raquel.
And that's only because of booking, because they so gun-ho for this whole Liv and Rhea thing that we was originally supposed to get Raquel and Rhea. And that probably would have helped Raquel, but they so gun-ho to getting Rhea and Liv in these matches that that's just the same thing with Io. Io and Raquel got overlooked in this feud because they was supposed to be the next ones up, and you couldn't really get to it because they like, well, technically we need to get to both.
Now,
Rhea
here's my
got
question,
injured.
y'all.
We keep trying to reinsert Rhea because she keep getting injured.
But
for Rhea
do you
back.
do you see? But do you see the problem
Yep.
with Raw Women's Division?
It's lacking star power.
I
Like
understood.
SmackDown,
I was
you
about to
have
get
it
to
loaded.
that. I understood what you were saying, that because of they put all mid carders in the tournament and there was at least not one person with a star power. It doesn't feel like they didn't beat.
Even if you would have put Becky in it, I would have been cool with it.
Because you had a little bit of star power there. But my question to you guys: if we're seeing Raquel kind of be a step behind, what if they send her over to SmackDown after Liv Morgan retains? Because I think she's a retain and finish that feud with Rhea altogether. What if at some point down the line, Liv turns on Raquel? Raquel becomes a big baby face and challenges her at some point.
See, they could go to Batista and Triple H route with Raquel. They definitely could.
They could.
Yeah.
They could.
Yeah.
But at some point, you're gonna have to start getting Raquel back on track.
The first thing you do, put that US title on her at some point next year.
Jump off point.
Because if you would have had her win the IC title, you could have had that thing like where it's like, oh, we're champions, we're running things, but then as soon as one person loses the belt and the other person it creates a sense of jealousy between the two.
This is why I said SmackDown can be a wrestling show.
Yeah, SmackDown is way better right now as far as like women's.
Like we built like in 2009 when you had to rebuild people like JBL, when Eddie Guerrero, Batista had his best run on SmackDown than Raw. I don't care what nobody say.
Edge had his best run on SmackDown.
No. I don't think nobody could dispute that Batista's best run was on SmackDown.
Edge.
You'd be crazy to say otherwise.
What I mean is SmackDown right now can be that rebuilt show. Raquel Rodriguez and Liv, damn it, they can be the women that you surround the
SmackDown roster around. Because here's the thing. If you want to look at like from an accolade standpoint, Liv's best moments have been on SmackDown thus far. She won her first women's championship on SmackDown. She won the Money in the Bank while being on SmackDown.
Yep.
And she won the tag team titles all those times for the most part on SmackDown.
Yep.
Like her best moments have been on SmackDown. Create another moment. Have her go to SmackDown as champion and do that. She can be like the Edge of SmackDown, the ultimate opportunist of the women's division. That's what she should be right now. taking advantage of everything, doing things that other people would not do to get ahead.
Yeah. Hey Shay, what do you think about this second match with Zoe and Raquel and Kaden?
Lord. Mm.
Raquel should have won. Simple as that.
Yes, Raquel should have won. I was so disappointed. I
PFC,
was actually waiting on the IC. I really think the IC probably would have been better than the other one.
the
I really
USA.
had really hopes for this. They messed this up. Like Raquel should have
And
won. Zoe
Zoe,
shouldn't. Mm-mm.
Zoe, my
Mm.
go home, Zoe. Go back to
You
NXT. Come up with
gotta
a new
go
character.
home.
it's like they messed up with Selena Vega.
Yeah,
Well,
she should
nobody.
have won
Zelina,
too. Like this whole
Zelina
IC
should have
is like
won.
messed up.
Zelina
Well,
should have won hers, but
I
it's like people
I
wanted
think they
Lyra.
I don't I think they messed up by putting the people that should have won in the same match. I don't
True.
for me. Zoe or Kaden was the better choices, but I don't think Raquel should have been in that match with Zoe.
Yeah,
Right.
I think she should have
No,
been on the other side of the bracket, like
yeah,
with Elba Fire or Natalia or one of them,
If
or
Natalia don't win,
Lyra.
it's rigged.
I think I would have had. I literally think Dakota should have won. I
which she
think
did.
Selena should have
Should have
Selena
won.
should have been the winner of
Lyra
the other
probably
ones,
could have won.
and then Raquel should have been the winner of one. We should have had
Right.
a combination of Zoe, like in the semifinals. The semifinals should have looked like Zoe, Dakota Kai, Zelina, and Raquel.
Right.
But
I would have done it.
because you put two of them in the same matches with the other people who should have won, somebody had to win and somebody had to
yeah.
lose. So
Because
I
Right.
the
think
Both.
Final
so
Four
I don't
should.
think it was a bad thing that Zoe won. I think it was a bad thing that they put all of them in the same match.
And like you said, the way the bracket is kind of shaped up was like a lot of the women that should be winning their matches are kind of going against each other. Like for me
Yeah.
personally, the Final Four, I would have Zelina, Lyra, maybe like a Zelina Vega, and then Raquel. Those four are the people that I should be having putting in these matches. Simple.
It's just
Not
And like I said, for me, I think Lyra should have been saved for the first feud for that title. And like I said, to me, I think it should have been Zelina, Raquel, Dakota, and Zoe. I think
you
all
know what's
four.
even going to be worse. You know what's even going to be worse. Even if the predictions is Natalia winning it, the whole thing.
She better win. She better win.
She's
From Natalia?
she's
Yeah, I think she should win. Low key.
No,
You know what I think you do?
Shay been saying that for
One
the
of the
longest
other.
that she been
One of
wanting
the
Natalia to
women's
win.
mid card titles. I think what you should do at WrestleMania this year. One of the mid card titles, whether it's the IC or US, make it a
Mhm.
multi-woman ladder match for that belt.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'll be with that. I'll be with that.
Because remember, like for a couple
What-
years ago, the IC
what they
title
want-
used to be defended in ladder match. You had it at WrestleMania 31 and 32. You had those back-to-back years where they were being defended in ladder matches. Go back to that, but do it for the women. Maybe you have a Jordan Grace come in at some point and she interjects herself in that IC title. You can have someone else in that mix and have all of
I
the
think when Jordan Grace comes, she's going direct to NXT.
she's going directly to the she's going directly. Yeah, even then she's going directly to the main event.
she ain't
Yeah.
gonna be. Yeah,
No, I think the better thing for Jordan is to be on NXT.
because
I
she's still
think-
very young.
Because I think she needs to build up that. I think she still needs to build up that star part within WWE. I know people know her in WWE, but I think she needs
Like,
to work.
learn the
to go to
system?
NXT. At least I know she's ready for the main roster. Don't get me wrong. I
Same
know
as
she could
Julia.
be main roster way, but
and
I think she
Stephanie.
need, give her at least a couple of months to a year and let her win the NXT championship first.
Right.
You said Julia?
Because like you think of like some people that are main roster ready. Like main roster
Yeah.
ready. Julia's ready. Stephanie McCool is ready. Roxanne is ready.
Yeah,
You
no,
put-
I would
like-
put them. I would put them on the main roster before Jordan.
But if you put Jordan Grace in there, not only are you stacking the women's division even more, but think of some of the potential matches you can have with her. Jordan Grace and Delta, or Zarya,
Oh yeah, that would be
that's a
fire.
powerhouse.
Classic.
Like, come on now.
And she
Her
does
and
the
Julia.
F5, bro. That
That,
jump.
but that's why Jordan Grace and Zarya needs to stay in NXT, and
And it would
I
and
will
like
put
they
Stephanie
said,
or Julia on the main roster.
because they
Like
say
I want
right
to put
now,
both of them on the main roster. I'll put one of them on the main roster.
yeah, I
I'll
think
put
it's gonna
Stephanie
probably be
or
Roxanne.
Julia on the main roster. And
Roxanne's
if you
gonna probably
put
get moved up
Julia,
post Mania.
Roxanne's going to the main roster. But if you put Julia on there, then you leave Stephanie, Zarya, and Jordan on NXT.
I think
That's
you
what I
put
think.
Stephanie. I think you put Stephanie on SmackDown, just like
Stephanie being one of
Roxanne.
the challenge.
If you put
Yeah,
Stephanie on SmackDown, then you leave Julia and them on NXT.
You know what I say?
'cause
Roxanne had to go to SmackDown.
Yeah, Russ, I
let
would
her be
say
one of the
that's what
challengers
I would
for
say.
Liv post
It
Mania.
needs to be Roxanne and either Stephanie or Julia going to the main roster.
Actually, to be honest, if we're gonna
And
take
I
some of
need
the,
Zarya to be the next Rhea.
we're gonna take some
Oh,
of
yeah.
them. I mean,
No,
we're
she the
gonna take
next
some of the.
Brock.
Hey,
A
with this
Yo,
female
fact.
Brock.
are killing people.
It might be the
Hey,
next female, bro.
Because why does she do the F5? Like, she do
hey,
like one of his finishers. Like, what the
I'm
fuck?
She
sorry.
do,
I'm
yeah, the
sorry.
F5 is her finisher.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Even though I'm a Liv Morgan fan, but could you imagine Liv Morgan trying to sell that F5? Like, she'd probably get killed doing taking an F5 from Zarya or something like that. Especially if
She
she
Yep.
do it
was
like on a
selling
table or
good though.
something.
She was
She
selling
do. She
good.
do it
Any
good.
women from NXT needs to be on SmackDown since
But like,
Raw
some
is
of them
already
aren't
gonna have
ready.
the star
Yeah,
power.
no. Yeah, definitely.
Some of them aren't ready
Okay,
just yet.
that's
Like
why I
Jada
said
Parker, not ready.
Roxanne or a
I
combination
don't
of
know.
Stephanie or Julia need to go to uh SmackDown. Because if
SmackDown.
Raw's about to have all this star power, we need to have, like Punch said, wrestling show where we promote just the we build this is the show where we build people and then we
Yep.
move them over to Raw and we keep using that SmackDowns to build people on the main
Yep.
roster and we keep moving them to Raw. So then Raw just a whole bunch of star powers, you know.
Yeah.
But SmackDown can be lit.
Smack,
SmackDown.
no,
I'm
yeah,
Hey,
telling you.
SmackDown could be
remember,
lit though.
go back to 2016 when we had the brand split. SmackDown Women's Division was stacked.
Yeah, it
Like
Yeah.
was.
you
It
had,
was good.
and it felt like it was more like the up and coming because like on one brand you had Charlotte, you had like Sasha and stuff like that, and all that. And you had Bailey
Yep.
come in later on. But on SmackDown, you had Alexa Bliss who made her name in that
Yep.
division. You had
What's
Naomi, you had Becky, you had Mickey James.
Yes, that's my
oh,
girl.
You
Mickey
had
James.
SmackDown. You had SmackDown be like the land of opportunity where people were
Yeah.
building themselves up. Why
And
do
I
you
think
think
Mickey
SmackDown
James
was
is
better than
supposed to
Raw?
be back in WWE too.
Yeah.
Who,
oh,
Mickey James?
Mickey James.
Yeah,
I
she
think they
is.
said
She's on gonna.
she's gonna be on some type of show training
Yeah,
people.
it's like a breaking ground kind of where they're doing like tough enough. It's like a mixture of breaking ground and tough enough where they're training newer talent to be ready for the. It's like a reality show technically, and she's on
Yeah,
it.
Oh.
but they did say she was officially back in WWE though.
Hey,
As
let
she
her be one
should.
of the surprise entrants in the Royal Rumble match.
wait, but the rumors I'm hearing is TNA stars left the
Yeah,
company.
yeah. I heard you talking about that rumor that came out today that said a whole bunch of TNA stars are leaving.
Hey,
So,
if we do,
can we
hey, I
get?
know people
I,
people ain't rocking with Tessa Blanchard, so they said I need my papers to leave ASAP.
Yeah,
I
I
gotta
think
go.
that's why they leave. I think they would say that was one of the reasons why they leaving because they decided to bring Tessa back,
Oh
and
Hey,
wow.
yep.
nobody wants to really work with Tessa.
hey, send
All
my
I
girl
gotta say
Ash.
is
Send my girl Ash
Josh
back to WWE.
Alexander, Josh Alexander, and Ethan Page. That's all I gotta
Hey,
say.
The North
But
reforming.
regardless, though,
Need that.
I think Jordan and what you call it,
Joe Hendry,
Joe Hendry,
Josh Alexander.
I
But
think
this
they
rest of this Royal
contracts is
Rumble
up
gonna be
this
good.
month and next month.
Moose,
Yeah, I
Moose.
think Moose is up too. But I
Hey,
think
It's didn't they get the girl that smashes the can? Didn't they get her? Didn't she sign a deal too? I thought she did. What's her name? The off of TNA that used to be with WWE used to smash the beer cans. What is her
Um,
name?
you're not
Ah,
talking about Ash. That was somebody else.
mm-mm. Oh, what's her name?
Zaya?
No, she used to smash the
nah.
beer cans.
I know
Starts with a
you're talking
B.
about. I can't get it out.
Starts with
You
a
said it
B.
starts with a B.
It has
Let me
like it
look on the
has.
Tina roster. Let me look at the Tina roster. Is she signed currently right now? Is she signed currently with TNA?
I don't know. I think her deal's already up because she was there when Mickey James was there when she was doing her last ride.
You talking about
With,
the chick with the. I mean, she always grabbing her chest.
yeah, and she like always have like a dirt, not like a motorcycle vibe. Like she would always wear like
Oh man,
leather.
yeah, I know what you're talking
Oh,
about. I
what's
can't
her
get it out, man.
name?
You're not talking about
I'm,
Masha or anybody like that.
uh,
Mm-mm.
uh,
It starts with a B, don't it? Like,
Yes.
is it?
Dang.
I
Dang,
can't, yo, I can't put
I
my
can't put
trigger
my
on it.
yeah, I can't put it on it either. I know what she's talking about now though.
But
Yeah,
like,
she had like a biker chick, like vibe.
Yeah, it's like she like biker and she's like buff, like she walks. Oh, what is her name?
well,
Oh,
because I'm thinking of people she faced, because she faced Deanna Perrazzo,
yes, she
and
did. She did fight her. Yes.
but
Oh,
Deanna,
ODB. Something
Yeah, ODB,
ODB.
ODB.
And
That's
isn't
her
she
DB,
name.
coming to WWE? Back to WWE?
I think she's doing indies, and I think she might be an NWA.
yeah, I think
Dang.
she had NWA.
But
But I'm
no,
That would be
I think Jordan
fire.
Grace.
send my
I
girl
said
Ash
Corey.
back to WWE, but don't send her up to the main roster. Let her go to NXT.
I think according to the rumors, Jordan Grace's and Joe Hendry's contract is up this month and next month.
Yeah, before the Rumble,
Yeah,
even
Yeah,
like in
it's before
January.
the Rumble. I think Jordan Grace is about done. I think if the rumors, from what I remember, Jordan Grace's is up this month. At the end of this month, she would be a free agent, and then
yeah, because she's
Joe Hendry would
um
be a free agent
But they're gonna
towards
have this match
sometime in
between.
January.
They're gonna have this match between her and
Tyler
That's why they
Branch.
took the title
Yeah,
off of
Tessa
Jordan Grace.
Blanchard at some pay per view. But right now, as it stands, if you're gonna put but they did say Tessa isn't signed to TNA. She isn't.
No,
Yeah,
Oh.
no, I don't think she's signed, but they working with her, and people just don't want to be there, so people just like
Because
leaving.
right now they already are, as far as like what's happening right now, they're already positioning the person that's going to take the title from Masha right now, and it's not one that people would think. She's in the on the brand, but they're positioning her to take the title. I would say between April and July, which is Slammiversary. So between I think it's Rebellion and Slammiversary,
Rebellion.
they're gonna have Ash by Elegance, who if you guys don't remember, is the former Dana Brooke in WWE. They're planning to have
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
her be the
and to have
next
her
woman up in the
be the next
company.
woman up to take the title.
Yeah,
Yeah,
As she
I,
should.
I
because
actually
the match that
should.
she had with Jordan Grace was really good, and I thought she would have
Yeah,
won.
yeah,
Yeah.
she
That she
should.
should. That she should. We did get a backstage promo with the Alpha Academy and R-Truth, where they
Oh,
were talking about the Alpha Academy's promo. But American made Chad Gable came up and basically berated. No, well, we got you the confrontation between Butch and R-Truth first, with Butch saying, I'm well,
Butch,
oh my
please.
fault. Pete Dunne, he's about to come after me and break my fingers, but Pete Dunne going up, confronting Truth about calling him Butch. And my boy Truth kept saying, Butch, please. I'm like, you know what? That was creative. I like that. If anybody that would have came from R-Truth using Butch as a substitute for the actual cuss word. But he said, Butch, please. I'm just trying to do you a favor, Pete. I'm like, just switching back and forth. It's true. But then they was like, Pete said this is the last warning, and then we would
The
get
last one.
the former Alpha Academy, now American made, coming and be rating what you call it, be rating Alpha Academy's Otis and Tozawa and Maxine with what you call it, Chad Gable is claiming that he's going to destroy his former pupils and his former baby, and
What is? I
after
don't know.
Otis stood up to Chad and he was like, I'm gonna start with you Tozawa. I'm like,
what did
just get
Tozawa do? Tozawa didn't
just
even
get
do
the Otis
anything.
and Chad already. Why y'all doing that? Why y'all keep teasing it and
Wait,
then going to
so we going back to the story of
That should
Chad
have
Gable
been the story.
should have already happened.
Yeah, I guess the speculation is because they about to switch them. 'Cause I think Alpha.
Otis Otis
I
should
think
have been the biggest face in the mid
He
card
could have,
division. Right?
if you wanted him to be
they about
elevated,
to.
if you would have
I think
gave
they
Chad
said they
Gable the
trying to.
IC title, have Otis been the one to take it if they booked it right.
Exactly. No, exactly. That's what I was talking about when they was about to start breaking them up earlier in the year. Otis should have been the biggest baby face right now.
Yeah, he definitely should have been. But
But
yeah,
it's like
that's the speculation on
Right.
why we getting back to it. It's because
they switching American
because
Made
they
to SmackDown.
switching. Yeah, because American Made's part is going to SmackDown, so they want to hurry up and get to the
Salute.
feud and just finally do the
Hey,
feud before they switch.
I was about to say that would it be crazy if not only American Make get put on SmackDown, but Alpha Academy get put on SmackDown?
No, I can see it.
Oh my
But
God.
but then we get to the another New Day promo where they get ready to get interviewed again about their side of the story, and they like finally, yeah, we get to tell our side of the story. We get to, because people wouldn't not letting us tell our side and not give us our point. And I feel like if we could give our point, we would people would see it from our perspective. But that's, of course, we hear some banging and some yelling, and of course we talked about this a little bit earlier. This is where we would be shown that somebody attacked Kyrie Sane, and you see Io and Dakota come to her, and you see Pure Fusion Collector walk away from the scene, and you could tell it was Pure Fusion Collective because Zoe literally came from behind where Kyrie was and where her hand was smashed at.
Hey,
Like while
Zoe gets screwed.
while Shayna and Sonya was like not close to the only person that was close to close to Kyrie was Zoe. So they basically framed it where Zoe took out Kyrie, and the rest of them were just laughing about it. They even talked about it on commentary, saying that they celebrated Zoe's win by taking out another member of Damage Control.
So we going back to a rivalry that nobody cares about. Ain't nobody cared about it then,
It
and
seemed
don't
like that's
nobody
what
care about
they
it
was
now.
trying to frame it. They trying to have their rivalry go take over this. But if they
Do you see what I mean? Do you see
if they
where I'm coming from now?
if they do go with replacing Kyrie Sane, I think it needs to be either it needs to be Io or Zelina that takes Kyrie Sane's place.
So
But
then,
if they go the route of how SmackDown did, it's just gonna be somebody from NXT that takes Kyrie's place. Most likely that's what's gonna happen. It's probably gonna be Jakara. Like since
Let
it
it
was
be.
last
Let it be
mentioned on
Zelina.
SmackDown, it's gonna
Let
be
it
Jakara.
please be Zelina or Raquel.
No,
not gonna be nothing.
it won't be Raquel.
Let it.
Zelina got more of a chance of taking that spot than Raquel does.
No,
But I would like
Selena
it to be.
she needs to be the chaser. What I mean is you can
Chasing the
pull,
title.
yeah, you can pull off the Bryan Danielson and the Kofi Kingston storyline with Selena Vega. It's book
Yeah,
right.
yeah, I think that's probably what they're gonna do with Zelina. But
So
I'm just saying, like, I'm just spec at this point. I think it's either even though I wish it would be Zelina, it's probably gonna be Jakara or somebody from NXT that takes that takes Kyrie Sane's place if she can't compete. And I'm only saying that because that's what they did for Jade Cargill. They had replaced Jade with Last Legend, so it's probably gonna be Jakara's turn for the Intercontinental Championship.
oh my god, man.
But with that, we finally get here to the main event. which is the War Raiders versus the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and JD McDonough for the World Tag Team Championships. And this was a pretty good match. I liked it. I liked that feud going into it for what it was. It could have been a lot better. Definitely could have been a lot better. But it was the right outcome because we need to get those titles away from factions because the tag team titles suffered when they was in the faction because they made the feuds all about the faction and the time and the teams that had the tag team titles was not doing their jobs and obligation. They was more so just helping with like on the SmackDown side was Solo, on this side was Judgment Day. So the right outcome happened here, but it was a good match. I like how the match went, how they attacked their necks and they like the part of their bodies they had surgery on, like their necks and their legs and their back. So Finn Balor and them definitely took advantage of that. They even attacked it, tried to have upper hands, even almost came up with the win a couple of times. But thanks to which we're probably gonna have confirmed amazing because they showed the clip of it after the show. My boy Damian Priest came out of nowhere and attacked not attacked but stopped Finn Balor from using the chair by pulling him into the barricade, and then that would allow them to get the upper hand and beat Finn Balor and JD McDonough and for the War Raiders become the new World Tag Team Champions. And the reason why I say it's going to continue a feud because on WWE's YouTube channel and their social medias, they posted a clip of Finn Balor leaving the ring, saying, "This was supposed to happen. I was supposed to have 2 titles, now I have none." And he basically declared this wasn't over between him and Damian Priest.
And then you had of Liv and Dominic reacting to that.
On that one, I did not see. that one.
And then I guess Dominic says, when you listen to Finn, you win. That's what Dominic said.
Yeah, well, nothing like showing dissension.
Now, what if this happens? Now, we were talking about this earlier with Finn Balor. If he turns or whatever the case is, what if somehow they turn Dominic into a face, and how they accomplish that? Liv turns on Dominic and aligns with Finn, and because we still didn't understand what really went down when Finn Balor took that key card to go see Liv Morgan that night. We don't know what the conversation was like. We don't know what was discussed between the two.
Yes, we did.
What if this entire time
Finn revealed that he basically coerced Dom and them to get together? He was the reason why.
But what if that's not all of the sport? What if there's still a missing piece that we don't know about? What if this whole time we're thinking Liv is really with Dom, but secretly Liv is sneaking around with Finn?
I just want this to be over.
I'm just saying, what if they just?
I really don't want them to add another layer to it, and then I want to see like what Punch was saying. Like I want to see Dom working his way up from being the heel to a baby face the same way how Eddie Guerrero did. Where we at first we hated Lie, Cheat, and Steal. And then we fell in love with Eddie Guerrero, and then we
remember that theme song that what was it? It wasn't the Lie, Cheat, and Steal theme song that Eddie Guerrero had. You remember the one where it was like Gangsta Lane or whatever? Like I think it was one of his few themes. What if they brought that theme back and gave it to Dominic Mysterio?
Chavo Guerrero would have a fit. Chavo's been having a fit ever since. Chavo Guerrero keeps saying they keep using his name this, they using his name that. Look what they doing with Dominic.
But like he can have a theme song, like a different theme song, even though like Eddie only had it for like one night or whatever and whatnot.
I'm like,
Chavo, he can bring that theme song, and we know
we already Eddie Guerrero was Dominic Mysterio's godfather, right?
Exactly. And here's the thing, and we already seen Dominic come to the ring or make a few entrances with the lowrider.
Right. I think he had to do it.
And that's called do that more frequently.
Chavo can stay in the indies and and get paid for whatever for doing a hot dog and a handshake for all I care. You are
I'm
just he is
he's
just jealous.
having a
In my
fit.
personal opinion, Chavo is jealous that Dominic is in a league of his own and he's already surpassed Chavo Guerrero as early as Dominic is right now. That's what it is.
Well,
Yeah,
then
man.
I will take that back. I think it's Vicky Guerrero too. 'Cause I think they both. I think Chavo has said both him and Vicky don't like that they keep using or they using like Eddie's name to make money off of it and get other people over and stuff like that. Like
But like,
he said
I
that
would understand
they
if it was
call it
random.
honoring Eddie Guerrero, but they not really honoring.
But
Eddie
here's the
Guerrero.
thing, though. Like, I could understand if it was just a random person doing that. Like, if it was like an
Right.
Andrade or an Alberto Del Rio, and I'm sorry I'm bringing his name up. But like, if it was that, I understand. But if it's somebody that has some type of relation to the family of the Guerreros, especially if like Eddie is Dominic's godfather, then that's still family. So you can
Yeah,
still have him
exactly.
do that.
Exactly.
And yeah, they don't have a problem with Sasha Banks, but they have a problem with Dominic and Ray. That's
So
crazy.
Yeah.
That's
That's
crazy.
another.
That's crazy. But I think the only reason why Chavo don't have a problem with it because Vicky Guerrero was actually seen on camera giving her blessings to Sasha Banks. So therefore he can't
Yeah.
really say nothing about it. But I guess they just don't like the Mysterios. I think Chavo really don't like Ray or Dominic. Well, mostly Ray. Because
It's Ray.
the only
he have a
thing,
problem with them using the LWO. He have a problem with them like with Dominic's whole persona being built around Ray. I mean about around Eddie. So it's
that's
like it
fine.
just goes. It's like he's basically had this big old problem with it.
I mean, he got the mullet, which he's rocking, by the way.
Yeah,
Not
he's
many people
rocking
can rock
Eddie
a mullet.
Guerrero's mullet.
He's probably
and
got one of the best mullets of all time.
I
Could you
but
imagine if they ever do a hair versus career match between him and Ray, and it's like a situation where Dom might have to cut his hair off?
wait a minute, did you say hair versus career match with Ray?
Yeah,
Like,
Dom
I
versus
was about to say
Ray at
because
some point.
okay, as Ray wins, he had to shave his head, but
That would
Dominic
be
wins,
so
he got. I'm
vile
gonna
if
say Ray don't
Dom was
have
not
no
to do
hair to shave.
it.
That
I
would be
mean,
like he
but
had to
like,
have a win.
but it would
I'm
be
already
sad to
bald.
see Dominic cut his mullet though. Like that would be just vile. It would be vile, and have to go back to the short hair. That and he'd probably be having to do like how Vince did when he got his hair cut, have to wear like a do rag or have to wear like a Scully or something.
Yo, do
Or,
rag Vince
or
was
do
a
like
menace.
CM
Hey,
Punk did,
nah,
wear a
he
whole
said I was
mask.
watching a compilation of some of his craziest stuff, and I think it was Muhammad Hassan that was on SmackDown that night or whatever. And Vince said something he said, "We're not in Texas, we're in Afghanistan," and he just told Muhammad Hassan, and I'm talking to a member of the Taliban. I'm like, what are you saying right now? You
Yeah,
can't say
Vince.
stuff like this on
Okay, but
Right,
television.
Vince.
you do realize Vince McMahon had a whole angle he had planned around the World Trade Center. He had a whole angle where a wrestler was supposed to be one of the people responsible for the World Trade Center, and there's a lot of angles there's a video on YouTube that shows like the angles that never that never was, and one of them was that speaking of like what you were talking about with the Taliban, that was supposed to be an angle that led into the whole thing about the World Trade Center, but
And
because
then
of the sensitivity of it and everything, he abandoned that storyline.
like I think it was a
His
on a different.
his whole death storyline was abandoned because of Chris Benoit. That was another one storyline that he had to abandon because of Chris Benoit. It was the whole death of Vince McMahon. If y'all remember with that cart when his
Yeah,
limousine blew up,
yeah,
they said his whole storyline was supposed to be like around the morning. It was supposed to go into like these different feuds and mornings and like people doing this and doing that, paying respect to him, only for
You
it
know,
to be
and here's
capitalized with
another thing.
revealing that he faked his
People,
own death.
people wanted JBL to be fired, and I think some people tried to fight JBL like fans or whatever because of what he did. I think it was a live event that they did, and I think they went to Russia or Germany, something like that. And what did he do? JBL, being the heel that he was, decided to do the Nazi salute. If,
Oh yeah,
if you do that,
That's not the. That's not. It's many instances. They Brock Lesnar got heat for making fun of Eddie Guerrero with the mariachi band and stuff. Like
yeah.
it's many times they crossed that line.
and then
But
Vince being black, nah.
but
What up, G?
Punch, what did you think of this final main event with the War Raiders?
Great. Finally, finally, we put the tag titles on a real tag team. Thank God. That's all I gotta say about it. Great.
I just
Great
need,
for the war.
I just need street
Congratulations,
profits.
all.
I just need street profits at this point to get some tag team gold again, or split them up in this trade. Let Montez stay on SmackDown and then send the other to Raw or something. Like, can we please?
Well, at first they got to get past the whole contract thing because I don't even know if they signed a new contract because they contract is about to be up.
AEW confirmed.
Yeah, and
Don't do that.
They
about
not
to be on.
happy.
They about to be on Rampage or be on Ring of Honor in 1 month.
And look what they did with look what they did with Tony Storm. Her return should have been so much better, and they returned her on what was it?
Yeah, on Collision. Yeah, I was so mad. I was like, what?
And then she didn't return as timeless Tony Storm. She just came back as her regular self.
And guess what? For her first match, what did they decide to do it? Rampage.
Yeah, it was Rampage. Yeah. Yeah. It was,
So if you really think it's okay to send the Street Profits over there for them to go from having a good match for one night to being a fixture on Ring of Honor the next, you're tripping.
Yep.
Hey, they're not happy with them not getting gold. But Shay, what did you think about the main event?
Hallelujah, finally. We don't have to see Finn Balor and them holding them titles no more. Hallelujah. This is the best thing Adam Pearce ever did. I think that actually fixed the problem. He finally fixed the problem.
And this was like what, their third title defense?
I think it was the third. Yeah, it's the third because they faced War Raiders before, and I think they faced
they faced War
Awesome
Raiders
Truth.
twice, and they faced somebody else.
Yeah, Awesome Truth.
Awesome Truth.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: like they held it for over 150 days plus, and only had 3 defenses. Like I like Judgment Day. I love Finn Balor. Like they said, next year's supposed to be a big year for him. Hopefully they decide to give him the world title. Give him the world title. But yeah, I think it was kind of cool to see War Raiders, and then especially kind of seeing how everything played out with them, and especially the fact that we know about their injuries and them coming back, and then his daughter and all that. That's why we haven't really been seeing Sarah Logan or Valhalla for quite some time because she was getting birth. Yeah. So she's gonna probably be out for quite some time, and then probably maybe come back very, very soon, or whatever the case is. But I feel good for everybody except for everybody's was cool. It was kind of cool seeing Lord Farquhar getting bounced around in the ring by everybody and just bounced like a pinball. Now Lord Farquhar can go back to his unimaginable kingdom of Burger King and then do his thing. That's what he can do.
No, I suspect this is gonna be a good year for JD McDonough. I think he's gonna be moved. I think they're gonna move him to one to the IC mid card
or the US if they put him on SmackDown
or the US wherever the mid card is, whatever they end up landing. I think he's gonna be a part of that division.
Now, if they had a cruiserweight division, he'd be perfect for that.
Yeah.
Back to NXT confirmed.
Hey, back to main event confirmed.
But I do want to see, and I do want to see in this trade window who from NXT is coming to the main roster.
Trick, whoop that Trick.
I know they talking about Trick Williams, but I think it's a little bit too soon for Trick. I really do.
I think Oba is winning that belt though.
If Oba wins, then yeah, but I want.
Yeah, I think he might.
I think Trick needs to.
Now,
I
what would you
rather
think about
see
this?
either Oba. I rather see Oba comes to the main roster for.
I would love to see Obafemi on the main roster. Don't get me wrong, but what if they bring Trick up to the main roster to reunite Trick and Mellow Gang?
No, no.
I hope not, because I don't like
I
Mello
hope
with
not.
him.
Yeah, I don't.
Uh-uh.
We've been there, done that, and they don't really unless you turn in Trick heel. Like it just we
Trick
they
No,
too
I'm talking about
big.
like
He
I'm
too
not
big.
like not
yeah
like right now, but like maybe a year or so down the line, maybe when
Yeah,
it
down the line.
Carmelo
Yeah.
gets
yeah.
maybe like Carmelo gets over, he starts to get face reactions and stuff like that. He's starting to get he might be facing up against a faction, he's getting attacked or whatever, and he calls
No,
on a
yeah,
friend
So
and
that
Trick
yeah.
comes
means
in.
Yeah,
so that means
yeah.
we putting Trick Williams on Raw.
No, Trick is gonna go to SmackDown.
No, Trick is
Yeah.
going to
Carmelo is gonna
SmackDown.
go to Raw. Carmelo is gonna go to Raw. Trick goes to
But he
SmackDown.
talking about I guess he said in a year's time we could see them both on the same roster
Oh
again.
my God, we're gonna put Melo on Raw when he didn't even have a chance on Smack.
Hey,
I mean, you know, Triple H, anything can happen. Remember, this is not a full blown trade, full blown draft. This is just a trade, so
and
anything
think
can
about it.
happen.
It could be a good addition to the IC title division. It doesn't mean he has to go for the WWE Championship.
Yeah, yeah, but that's kind of the
But I get what
point
you're
here.
saying. I
Like,
get what you're saying. If you're on SmackDown, that's why I said same thing for Finn Balor. If you want Finn Balor to be a world champion, his chance
yeah,
of
he
becoming
had
a
to be
world
on
champion will be
SmackDown.
better on SmackDown. Same
But
thing
that's
for
what I
Louis
mean.
Kaiser.
Like, that's what I mean about these long reign title
And I
runs.
hope they go away from that because I said it before. You do not
Yeah,
need to have long title reigns. Like even the world title reigns, we don't like look at the like how it used to be in the 90s. We were seeing title
Well,
change happen like every month or almost every other week.
well, okay, define long.
Like having like Roman Reigns hold it for 4 years. Like that
Okay,
was
yeah,
yeah,
that was
way
no,
too long.
that's
Like
way
that
too
was
long.
I'm pretty sure Gunther, he held it for what 2 years
Oh yeah, you
or
talking about
so?
the what was that
the Oxy title.
Yeah. And
no,
then
not
look,
he held the IC title for
600 days.
600
He held it
days,
for
right?
so he
yeah.
held it for
Right.
over
No,
2 years.
I thought you were talking about the one the other title that he held for 800 some
No,
days.
no, no, no.
Oh,
That's different. I'm talking about like man,
man.
he held that for 800 some days. Like I
Yeah, the
Yeah,
feel
UK.
like
I thought that's what you
long
was getting at.
titles don't need to be a thing to make somebody relevant.
Right.
I feel like the Usos holding the tag team titles. I was okay with it because they were on TV every week, giving us decent
Right.
matches and all that and so forth. Cody Rhodes. Yes, I'm okay with him being the champion, but I do not want to see him have the championship for a year plus. No.
Right.
I'm okay with people holding the title for 3 months, 4 months, maybe 6
No,
months.
I'm
No,
cool with special people holding the
Like
title
look
for
at
that
Damien.
kind
Damien
of
held it
Yeah,
run.
from Mania to
Damien was that
SummerSlam.
power.
yeah,
4
but see,
months.
the thing is though, the problem is people don't want people hot potato in the title.
And
Because
it's
But
okay to
people
do
think
that.
oh,
if you hold it at least to make you look like a legit champion, you need to be dominant and hold it for at least almost if not a year, at least maybe 10, 11 months. Like you need to hold it at least close to the year so
Okay,
that you can prove that you are a dominant champion, a star
what?
power.
So let's use what's her name? Liv, for example. She for her to hold it, be relevant, and be dominant, she has to hold it for about a year. So right now she held it. She won it in May. So June, July, August, September, October, November, December. We're at 7 months right now. 7 months
Right.
going on 8 potentially. So over 200 plus days at this point. 206 days at this point.
She needs
yeah,
it.
something
Right.
like that.
She
Yeah, I
needs
think
it.
she needs to
I
hold
think
it.
She
with there's
needs to
exceptions
hold
to
it
it.
for a
There's
year.
exceptions to having a long time run. If somebody's
Yeah,
like a
there's
Liv
an
Morgan is
exception to the
champion,
rule, and Liv
like
is
if
one
it's
of them.
Liv Morgan, right? It's okay because you're building her up.
Yeah,
Gunther
it
How
don't
is
long
need to
Naya
be. It
had
already
don't
it?
need to be Becky,
Nia. She's
Rhea,
held it since SummerSlam.
Bailey,
Okay, SummerSlam.
Charlotte. It don't need to
So
be them.
September, October, November, December. So about 4 months for Nia.
Really? I thought it was more. It felt like
She held
year,
it. She
like
held it
Yeah,
six
in August.
Naya,
She
months.
won it in
Naya
August.
About
needs it. Naya, like they say for some reason we wake up on Friday morning and find out that over a household Zelina Vega beat Liv. Zelina Vega needs it for a year.
But here's
Yeah.
the thing: there's exceptions, like you said. There's exceptions, like you said. If it's Liv Morgan, it's fine.
When the people
If it's Liv Morgan or something like a Liv Morgan, who's they're trying to build up to be in the conversation with the night, like with the Rhea Ripley's and the Biancas and the Charlottes and the Beckys of the world. You have to have her have a decent, long, lengthy reign to establish her as being a potential main eventer. But somebody like a Rhea Ripley, heck no. Rhea Ripley, no.
Again,
she's gonna have it forever and not
like Rhea Ripley. She literally her last title was 380 days, and she only had what 2 defenses.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
like Charlotte.
Roman Reigns don't need a title at all no more.
But Charlotte did fight a lot when she had her title.
Roman Reigns don't need a title no more.
Roman don't. Hell no.
Roman don't need a title at
definitely not Roman.
You know, these are people. You want to know who needs world championships right now that you should be booking to be world champions? Finn Balor's one. Dominic's another. You throw Jey Uso. Main event Jey Uso. Jey Uso.
Jey is. I got Jey winning the men's Royal Rumble. Actually,
he needs
that. I'm trying to tell y'all.
Hey, Jey or Finn.
It's not
trying to tell y'all.
Hey,
no,
I'm sorry,
I'm not even.
The Rock.
I'm not saying this.
Hold on. No.
Wait.
Here's what. This is even worse. I've been hearing people. If Gunther is going to be world champion, Cena, I'm okay with. I don't want to see it, but I would be okay with it for the story. But with the other name that's being thrown around, I would literally turn off my television and probably not watch until WrestleMania. And they're literally throwing around. Yes, do not.
I don't want to see that. I'd rather see Brock than Goldberg.
I don't want to see none of them. Do you remember what happened last time Brock Lesnar won? People were calling it the UFC Royal Rumble. You had Ronda and Brock when they were both in the same night.
Yeah, he did win that night.
No, I'm okay. I need Cena to win one of the world titles. Though,
yeah, Cena needs to be in
somebody
number.
He needs to break that. He needs to break the record so he could be the new Flair.
You know what you have him do? Have Cena go after the IC title.
That'd be cool.
It gives more importance to the IC title. And we also know that John Cena, that's the one title that he's never been able to hold in his illustrious career.
I think he needs to do both. I think he needs to win both titles in the same year.
Him winning the Royal Rumble, they don't need to do.
I don't think so.
Win the main title.
The Chamber. Him winning let him win the Chamber.
Yeah.
It's either definitely Jey Uso or CM Punk gonna win the Royal Rumble. That's my two tops.
Finn Balor? Hey, could you imagine? Finn Balor would be cool.
Jay needs to win the Rumble or the Chamber.
Remember what you said about you said earlier about the New Day being potentially like getting a lot of heat and stuff like that. I know people. We said something about Dominic. Imagine if Dominic
that's gonna be crazy.
Dominic wins the Rumble and he eliminates John Cena to win it.
Oh, you talking?
That would be crazy if he wins the Royal Rumble. Though. That would go crazy.
You're gonna go past nuclear heat. You're
gonna say if he wins the Money in the Bank. That would be crazy too.
The world-ending bomb.
Hey, nah. But think about this: if he wins the Rumble, eliminate John Cena, that would be crazy. But like you said, Money in the Bank. Here's the thing: if
you wasted
Dominic,
the Rumble win on who?
But here's the thing.
Wasted it though.
Hey, but here's the thing. I like what you said. If you have Dominic win the Money in the Bank, have him sneak away with that briefcase. And
that
when Cody at WrestleMania, something like that, and you still have Dominic as a heel, Cody is having a hard-fought match with The Rock or something like a big name, and Cody beats him. Dominic Mysterio music hits afterwards, and he cashes in on Cody and beats Cody to become the WWE champion. Bro, people would be pissed. They would be like,
they would be pissed.
They would be like this, man. then you can have Dominic say, as Finn Steven became champion, he said, "I'm a champion." Finn became champion.
Hey, think about the next night of Raw. His music hit. They say, "Oh, heck no."
I guess when you listen to Dom, you win.
Hey, funny. And then he brags to Finn Balor. He said, "Well, it looks like it's been over 24 hours. I'm still WWE champion."
Right. I think I've been longer
than yours.
than you have.
Because they still brought the fact when Finn was trying to face was it Seth in 2023? It doesn't matter how you slice it. My title reign's longer than his, or something like that. Like y'all didn't have to do Finn like that. Then you have Dominic, the younger upstart, become a champion, and then rub it in Finn's face has become WWE champion and cashes in on Cody. And then people be pissed. It's like, what out of all the names, Dominic Mysterio is the one to beat Cody Rhodes?
That would be something. That would be something. That would be that. We really would be in Bizarro land. We would be in Bizarro land.
Nah, you know what would be worse though? Him being the one to defeat Gunther for the world championship, for the world heavyweight championship.
Oh God, that would just be so freaking horrible.
People would be livid. People thought Cody was bad, but him cashing in and pinning Gunther clean. Oh, people would be livid.
That'd be crazy.
They were like, "What did we just do? What did y'all do?"
But this was a very short, promo-heavy Monday Night Raw.
Definitely.
I think we went off the rails more than Raw did, and we made our show longer than what Raw was. But for me, SmackDown. Raw was good. I mean, it was all right for what it was. It was all right. I felt like it deserved it. Like it could have had like at least one more match had it cut down and trimmed down the fat on some of the promos. But they really was promo heavy on this. Like this was more so just to promote something. And then because you gotta think about it, we're not really having a live show for Raw and SmackDown for a while now.
Because this week is taped for SmackDown, I think, right? This week on SmackDown,
they already taped SmackDown. They already
NXT's not taped though.
Raw yesterday.
NXT's not taped, surprisingly.
Yeah,
because they did say that this is the last Raw of Netflix. Not the last Raw for Netflix, but the last Raw and SmackDown. That was at least that was the last Raw that's actually live. And it won't be another live episode until we go to Raw on Netflix. So we're about 2 weeks of taped shows.
Oh, okay. See, I just thought it was just going to be the next week where I thought it was going to be like Raw, SmackDown is taped. I know the SmackDown this week is taped. And then I thought Raw next week was going to be taped, but SmackDown next week was going to be live. And then the Raw after that was going to be live. I didn't know it was going to be, we was going to get 2 back-to-back.
I don't know about the next week's SmackDown. Maybe it might be, but I know Raw for sure because they want to give wrestlers time off to celebrate, to be with their families for Christmas. And then probably leaving
that's what I was getting at. So they were trying to do the whole holiday Christmas thing.
But when it does come to everything, SmackDown being 3 hours, that's gonna be the first thing that we're gonna see before we see Raw. Because January 3rd will be the first SmackDown.
No, it's supposed to be the same. It's supposed to be the same week as Raw's debut.
Yeah, but I'm saying SmackDown will be first because it's the 3rd, and then the 6th will be the first Raw on Netflix.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Raw on the week that Raw goes on Netflix is supposed to be the week that all the shows is supposed to be 3 hours.
Yeah, it will be.
So that the Raw before the SmackDown before the Netflix Raw would still be 2 hours, and then that week of Raw on Netflix, both shows will be 3 hours.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be a lot of wrestling, a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff. Like I said, this was a pretty good Raw for what it was. It was promo heavy, but I'm still gonna give it like a 7 out of 10. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10.
It was 6. I give it a 6 or maybe 6.5 for me. It was above average.
Yeah, it was definitely above average.
Nothing blew me out of the water or nothing like that. That's
it was
a higher rating.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing that blew nobody out the water. I'm disappointed that they structured the Intercontinental Tournament where, at least for SmackDown, the people who need to win the matches was in different matches, so you wasn't putting like 2 people who need to win in the same match with each other. And that's the problem I have with this is that we have people in the Intercontinental Tournament, the Women's Intercontinental Tournament, that did not need to be in the matches with each other because they needed to be facing each other later on or down the line in the tournament, and yet we got Raquel and Zoe in the same tournament. We got
Right.
Zelina. We had Zelina and Dakota in the same match where they should have been on the opposite side. Like Zelina should have been the one over Lyra, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
and then again, having her be the chaser is a good option too. But yeah, it's a 7 out of 10 for me. Yours, you said it was a 6 out of 10 for you, Leo.
Yeah, 6 out of 10.
What was yours? What's yours, Shay?
7.
4. Oh, I'm
I
about to
was
say. I thought you about to say 4 out of 10. I'm about to
I
say,
just like the
hold up.
promos, to be honest. Them promos was hitting.
I wonder if Jay gonna be on the next week's episode, Raw.
I think
Ha ha ha
I
ha.
think they're gonna
Yes.
do Jay Uso and Drew on the first Raw of Netflix.
They probably will.
They need to, cause my man need to get his payback for him slapping him in the back of his head. You hit my husband. Now we after you now.
I'm
You
making a
want the
bold
smoke.
prediction. Bold prediction.
But you gotta admit, Shay, though, Jay had it coming.
I
But I say
know,
a bold
but you didn't
prediction.
have to hit him in the back of his head. You could have just stand up, bro. I want to fight you. You don't hit somebody. That's knuck if you buck time. You hit my husband
Hey,
like you wanted to fight him for real, for real, for real.
I'm making a bold prediction. I said Jey Uso could potentially win the Rumble, but if he doesn't win the Rumble, bold prediction: Jey Uso wins Money in the Bank next year.
Oh, definitely. I need to see that
He's as he
money in the bank
should.
thing.
They should have won it this year.
Won it this year.
Yeah.
They gave it
The
to
Yeet
Won it
Bank.
this year.
like. Could
Triple
you?
H,
Could
I still
did
don't
they
understand
not?
what
Did
was
they?
the
I don't
program
understand. Did
behind
Bobby?
that.
I don't understand. Did WWE not see the vision? How much
They
money
seen it and
was
it
on the
just slides
table?
to the right.
Like,
You,
look at the money that could be
honestly,
made.
you really did. Like, you honestly thought that you needed the Money in the Bank just to make CM Punk's feud with Drew
Like,
McIntyre.
they missed out on a
Make
lot
more
of money.
sense,
Like, look at
probably.
the Yeet. Could you not tell me Yeet in the Bank? People getting a briefcase with Yeet on it. That
Y'all,
would
when I tell
sell
you,
money.
You had a
y'all,
money making opportunity, and you just flushed that down.
when I tell you I was so mad that night, I took my whole wig off. Like, if I had to take my wig off again,
Yo,
we're going to have a problem,
that
Triple
damn
H.
wig.
My wig, I just took the wig, I just slammed it. That money to bank, that whole
I
thing
would
made
have
me
paid
mad.
money to see that. She snatched that wig off. Said, "God damn
I
it!"
just twirled the wig and I just threw it and I was
in
done
the
for the
words
night.
in the words of Naomi, I'm finna snatch you ball. That's how she was feeling that night.
I
She
snatched
couldn't
the
take it.
ball.
Well, as we get ready to sign off, we'll start off with Leo here. Thank you for joining us, Leo.
No problem.
You definitely a welcome addition to the group. We definitely had a good time. So with that being said, get over to Leo's channel, Kicking It with Leo, because he does wrestling videos on his channel as well. And let's hit that like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button. Let's get him to 500
We're
or
close.
more
We're close. Business has
subscribers.
been booming.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's pushed him over the
Because
edge.
I think
pushed
over
him
the
to
weekend
500 mark.
I think over the weekend I gained like 30 new subscribers. So I'm at like 417 right now. So we're close.
Yeah, I just business is booming for me too. I had my short video had reached up to like 12K views, and I ended up getting like 80 subscribers off of that. So business is
Hey,
booming.
Congratulations,
Yeah.
man.
But yeah, that's get Leo over that hump. That's push him over the hump and get him to 500. Yeah, let's shoot for 1,000. Let's do more. But like I said, get over there to his channel. He does wrestling videos. Again, that's Kicking It with Leo. Punch, who was with us, let's give him a shout out and stuff. Hector, we also gonna give him a shout out. Happy birthday to Hector too, by the way. Happy birthday, bro. Let's see. We got Chris Wrestling Views. We're gonna get over there to his channel. That man is 73,000 plus. He's gonna be the first of us to get that YouTube plaque, which gives us hope that one day we will meet Chris's level of success. That man's
Want to get a billionaire?
yeah.
Yeah.
That man, that man is going places. So get over to his channel, hit that like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button. Do all those great things for Chris. Again, that is Chris Wrestling Views. Get over to his channel. We got to shout out Jeff Dog Gaming. Get over to his channel. I know YouTube has been kind of going at him, but he do got a channel. Get over there to Jeff Dog Gaming. Hit that like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button. Do all those great things for him as well. Let's get him to 500 or more subscribers. Shay, by the way, I meant to do this. My fault. So y'all know, so y'all can see what our channel names are. You see that's Leo up there. But Shay, we get over to her channel. And congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Again, congratulations. Everybody say congratulations to Shay. She's
Congratulations.
what was it like this? The summa cum laude for your college that you just did?
Yes. BMA. I said BMA.
Mhm.
BA communication.
Okay. You see that education does pay kids. So congratulations to Shay. And get over to her channel where she does football videos and wrestling videos. As you can see, she's also a wrestling fan. So she does both. If you like football and you like wrestling, she's your girl. Go to her channel. It's right there on the screen. Know the rules and hit that like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button. Let's get her to 500 or more subscribers as well. With that being said, is last but not least, there's me, Little Bit Man Gaming. There's get over to my channel. As I said, I've been enjoying some recent success, just like Leo. So, shouts out to both the new subscribers for both me and Leo.
Mhm.
We both appreciate you guys. But trust me, nobody here takes for granted when we get new subscribers. This is a cherished moment because you don't have to subscribe, but you
Right.
choose.
Mhm.
Like I said, we take that. We appreciate that. But get over to my channel where I do wrestling videos, reaction videos, review videos, all the such. I do gameplay as well, as the title says, gaming in there. So I definitely do gameplay videos. And but yeah, get over there to my channel a little bit, my gaming. Hit that like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button. Do all those great things for me because I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers so we can get to the next goal post. But when I do get to 10,000, there will be a reward for you, one lucky member for my channel. But speaking of rewards, there's this channel, the main channel, the Wrestling Pit Podcast. Get over there and hit that like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button, do all those great things for the Wrestling Pit Podcast because this is what bringing you this entertaining, almost 3 hour video.
Yeah.
I'm
We've been on the
crying.
same episode of Raw, 3 hours, so someone's been 3 hours over here too. So yeah.
If this was a 3 hour show, we would have been on here for almost 6. but but yeah, so get over there to the Wrestling Pit Podcast, hit all those good buttons because when we get to 500 or even more subscribers, there will be a reward coming for you as well. For one lucky person, there will be a reward. But yeah, like I said, the Wrestling Pit Podcast. If you haven't already, subscribe. With that being said, we're gonna go enjoy the rest of our night. Some people gotta get up for work in the morning. Some people might not. Whoever don't, well, good for you. You get to sleep in. But yeah, we're gonna sign off as we always do. Wrestling Pit Podcast,
Podcast
baby.
baby.
Yes, yes. We
Yes.
love you guys. We appreciate you guys. We out.